Drivers, start your engines!
As the 33 engines roar to life on the main straightaway, they've asked one of these talented drivers to take you on a lap around this storied 2.5-mile oval. Here's our course description from Regis VK.
So you cross the yard of bricks, like in qualifying, you hit 240 miles an hour with a little bit of tailwind. Then you turn into turn 1, which is often the most sketchy corner because there's always some wind, like rotating there, so that's tough. Then you go to turn 1 throughout the short chute, and it's quite weird because there's like an exit road from the road course, which kind of messes up your visuals. But then you go to turn 1, get onto the main straight, on the back straightaway, and turning into turn 3, you just want to make sure you don't turn in too late, especially in the race with all those marbles, and try to stay flat, because flat you're the fastest. And then coming to turn 4, it's actually, I think, the easiest corner on the track because you're slowing down because of turn 3, because of the turning. And then you get back to your yard of bricks and hopefully as a race winner.
Let's head back to pit road now, check in with our pit reporters, find out what stories they will be following today. We'll start with Ryan Marine.
Hey, Mark, let's start with the weather conditions. 63 degrees ambient, 96-degree track temperatures, just a slight breeze at 9 miles per hour out of the north-northeast. In a word, perfect. As they used to say around these parts, this is Tony Holman weather. Here on the south end of the pit lane, we've got all 4 of the Chip Ganassi racing cars, including the pole sitter, Scott Dixon. 2 cars out of the Ed Carpenter Racing stable, a 3-time pole sitter in Ed Carpenter, and Regis VK, the youngest driver ever to start from the front row of the 105th Indianapolis running of the Indianapolis 500. He'll be joined on the front row by 2018 Freedom 100 winner, seeking his first 500 triumph, Colton Herta. Also in this section of the pit lane, 2016 winner Alexander Rossi seeking his second win, and 3-time winner Elio Castroneves in his 21st start looking for a record-tying 4th win. It is a star-studded field of cars and drivers, and at the end of 500 miles, one driver's life will change forever. Let's head a little bit north on the pit lane and welcome in Rob Blackman.
You know, Ryan, in the business of sports broadcasting, when they tell you your career is headed south, that generally is not a good thing. In my case, however, it's great news. After spending the last 2 500s patrolling the far north end of pit lane, today I head south and find myself perfectly positioned between the scoring pylon and the yard of bricks. More importantly, I'll be covering the pit box of last year's winner Takuma Sato and the pit area of the 2014 champ Ryan Hunter-Reay. Plus, I have a front seat to the pit stalls of direct descendants of former 500 winners in Pietro Fittipaldi and Graham Rahal. Yes, my career is indeed headed south, and I couldn't be happier about it. Let's go to Scott Sander.
And as I head north, as you know, Rob Blackman, the farther north you go, typically the longer the odds get. Perhaps not so this year. Pato Award qualified well, takes an interesting spot nearer the back than the front because it's a great pit stall. Lets him drive straight out to get where he needs to go back on the track. That said, it's an interesting one as well. If his eyes drift a little to his left, he'll see immediately to his left the Borg Warner Trophy. Hopefully not a distraction today. Behind him, Conor Daly, quite frankly, got the loudest cheers as they did the driver introductions in the section I was in. He has a car whose paint scheme echoes heroes past and the flyover of today, and whose own family ties are wound tightly through the track and its history. Behind him, Joseph Newgarden, the chiseled jaw hero of an iconic team who must be feeling by now the pressure of years as a favorite, but not yet the victory. A very talented group. Haven't even talked about the 2-time winner, or the man who led 3 turns of a final lap, but not the 4th. We'll send it farther up the north side. Lots of stories to be told, Alex Wolf.
Thanks, Scott. You know, history has a way of repeating itself at the Indianapolis 500, or at least Marco Andretti hopes so. Last Sunday, our Jay Query pointed out that in 1973, Johnny Rutherford won the pole for the 500, but failed to lead a lap. A year later, Lone Star JR won his first of 3 Indianapolis 500s after starting 25th. Last August, Marco Andretti won the pole for the 500, but failed to lead a lap. Today, he starts 25th. History also has a way of being made at the Indianapolis 500, or at least Simon Pagenaud hopes so. The ninth row has produced 2 winners. Rutherford for the inside, Fred Frame for the outside. Pagenaud is in the middle of the row. Now let's head back up to the Sid Collins broadcast booth and Mark James.
Yep, had an issue with Will Power. He brought his car on pit road, came right back off Davey Hamilton, and good news for Will Power. Looked like it could have been a disastrous start to the day.
Yeah, noticed right off that there was a car missing going down the front straightaway. I looked down and turn 4 to see Will Power coming down pit lane. Very surprising. He did make it out, went by the pace car, which I think that's okay at this time of the race, to wind his way back to the back of the field. I thought maybe he'd slow down and join in, but he should be able to come close to catching the field before the green comes in.
Yeah, we just saw him roar up the straightaway, and boy, when he pulled out of the pit box, it's probably the loudest cheer he's going to get all day unless he wins the thing.
Well, you know what? That's so unfortunate. We've seen people before not get to start this race before the green comes out, and didn't want him to be one of them.
And we see the field come out of the north end, and they get to the start-finish line. Nick Yeoman, we look up at the starter's stand, and we see that furled green flag, and we are getting ever closer to the start of this great race.
And it will be accompanied by the lights being shut off on the pace car, signifying that we're about to go racing. Pomp and circumstance in the rearview mirrors. The tears brushed away from the eyes. Michael Young, our pole sitter, Scott Dixon, already out of turn number 1. Very soon, we're going to start stacking them up, 11 rows and 3.
Thank you, Nick Yeoman. I hope we never have to hear, see, or say anything virtual ever again. That is the sound of the field making their way through turn number 2. Scott Dixon, his 4th career pole here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The field starts to form in those rows of 11. 3 cars per row. Jake Query, they're coming to you.
That field starts to align perfectly as the pace car now starts to accelerate into turn number 3. And this crowd in turn number 3 comes to its feet. Those of you with the headsets on, I can't tell you how happy we are to see you. Let's celebrate and enjoy the Indianapolis 500 as one. Chris Denari, this field is starting to form into perfect formation, coming into your view in turn number 4.
You can't take the colors for granted, not just of the cars, but of the fans. They're on their feet in turn number 4. On the inside of the racetrack, the pole setter leading the way is Scott Dixon.
All eyes are on the starter as the field comes off of turn number 4, paced by Scott Dixon, Colton Herta, and Renus VK. Green flag flies. Scott Dixon leads the 105th Indianapolis 500 into turn 1.
It's an incredibly bunched up pack as they go through turn 1, but it's Scott Dixon, your race leader. Everybody safely through turn 1.
Scott Dixon, then Colton Herta, Renus VK, and Carpenter. Tony Kanaan, your top 5 of the big mover. Marcus Erickson around the outside. He'll look to the inside now of Alex Palou Field, halfway down the back straight.
Everybody in turn 3 is on their feet, and it is Colton Herta that will greet him first. He moves inside of Scott Dixon. Then it's Renus VK and Ed Carpenter.
About a 5-car length advantage for Colton Herta as he exits turn number 4. Scott Dixon in pursuit. He's second.
He said if his chance was there, he was going to take it, and take it he did. But here comes Scott Dixon to the start-finish line.
Dixon may not lead lap number 1, but he's going to try to lead lap number 2. Takes a look to the inside, not able to do it. Colton Herta slams the door shut.
2-car length advantage for Colton Herta. Midway point of turn number 2. Then Dixon, now Renus VK starting to make a charge on the rear wing of Scott Dixon. Renus VK will look to the inside.
Renus VK is going to try to make a move, and as they go into turn number 3, they're side by side, but VK gets around Scott Dixon. Colton Herta the leader with VK and Dixon just behind.
VK just a couple of car lengths behind Colton Herta. 220-somethings leading here early. 1 and 2, Herta and VK.
Off of turn number 4, that Cambridge machine. It's Herta, he and VK side by side. Renus VK goes to the lead of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Scott Dixon's got to be thinking, who do these kids think they are? It's Renus VK, the 20-year-old, out of turn number 1.
What a strong run for Renus VK. Great at happy hour, and so far on race day, 8-car length advantage over Colton Herta. Then Scott Dixon, Ed Carpenter, Tony Kanaan fifth.
Youngest front row in the history of the Indianapolis 500, and youth is served up front because it's Renus VK with Colton Herta just behind, but Scott Dixon is taking a hard look at that Cambridge machine as they work their way into 4.
VK's opened up about a 5-car length advantage as he exits turn 4. Then it's Herta, then it's Dixon. Those are the top 3.
Ed Carpenter runs 4th, Tony Kanaan runs 5th, and they're starting to stay with that lead packet in turn number 1.
Yeah, there's no doubt the front 3 getting away a little bit, but Ed Carpenter's starting to catch him. He's in a red, white, and black car. Carpenter's sits in fourth, chasing after Dixon.
Now that front starting to bunch up ever so slightly. VK about 6 car lengths over Herta, Dixon, Carpenter, and then that Tony Kanaan machine already the field halfway down the back straight.
There is not a cloud in the sky. The sun is watching intently. It's a beautiful day in Indianapolis, and so far it's a beautiful start for Rinus VK. Colton Herta just behind him, then Scott Dixon. Ed Carpenter starting to draw a beat on third.
Yeah, 2 Ed Carpenter machines in the top 4. The leader, VK, exits 4, about a 5-car length advantage.
Whatever Powers' issues were, they've been solved. He is +7 since we started. Rinus VK by 0.2 of a second into turn 1.
Yeah, Mark, and Will Powers been using that outside line to claw his way back to the field. Leader, though, is Rinus VK. Wiggled a little bit through the short shooters into 2.
Already through the midway point of turn number 2. The wind started at the north when they came to the beginning of this race. Now shift to the south. They'll greet the field and they'll make their way down the back straightaway.
Scott Dixon has led 563 laps in his Indy 500 career. Did he decide to simply let the 2 kids have fun up front, or is he trying to reel them in? Right now, he's got 3 car lengths to make up on the front 2.
Well, he's in third. He's got a nice 10-car length advantage on Ed Carpenter as they exit turn number 4.
We're looking a little bit further back in the pack, and it looks like Tony Kanaan, Elio Castroneves. That one's trying to get interesting with Ryan Hunter-Reay giving chase.
That's a battle for 5th. The veteran Tony Kanaan first to turn number 1. He's got about a 3-car length advantage over that pink and black machine of Castroneves.
Nothing really changing up front. Rinus VK still got about an 8-car length advantage in Colton Herta. Once again, Scott Dixon dropping back now into the grasp of Ed Carpenter for that 3rd position.
Everybody now single file as they snake and serpent their way up the backstretch. It's VK, then 3 car lengths to Colton Herta, then another 2 to Scott Dixon, and then Ed Carpenter.
Yeah, Ed Carpenter's gained some ground from the last time he was on the north end of the track. He's got Dixon in his sights in 4th, about 4 car lengths behind.
Front 2 continue to try to check out a little bit. Dixon trying to keep pace. Kanaan now has gotten some separation from Elio into 1.
Yep, and Elio sits there in that 6th position, and as you mentioned, about 4 car lengths back in the 7th spot. Good run so far for Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Pace starting to settle in. Everybody's single file as they make their way through the south end field, now working down the back straightaway.
So the field now sets up as things settle down just a little bit. We'll call them as they come by. Front 3 really separated. It's VK, then Herta and Dixon, then Ed Carpenter. You wait a second before Kanaan, Castroneves, and Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Yeah, you see Ryan Hunter-Reay trying to make a move and trying to gain some ground on Elio Castroneves. He's back there in 7th place.
Davey, a couple of guys on the move. We mentioned Will Power +7, Jack Harvey +5.
Yeah, good start by Harvey right from the get-go, holding his place right there. But as you said, Will Power, no surprise that he shot his way up that far. The farther he goes, the harder they're going to become to pass. Right now, he has Hinchcliffe in front of him, and we'll see if he can get by him.
Maybe in terms of formation, not the most picturesque start, but a clean one nonetheless.
Yeah, clean one. I mean, we've seen guys go 3 wide into turn 1. You do not see that very often. We just see a replay of Will Power going 2 wide through turn 1, getting by the outside, going around the outside of Keller, then inside of Bourdais. Actually, the outside of Bourdais made a great run over in turn 2. You could do it, Mark. Now was the time to do it because no marbles in those outside grooves.
We will complete lap number 8 this time by this battle for second. Nick Yeoman between Herta and Dixon trying to get interesting again.
Yep, little breathing room for our leader, Rinus VK. He's got about a 6-car length advantage. Colton Herta, though, got through turn 1 quickly, Michael. He'll gap himself from Scott Dixon.
Yeah, he's got about an 8-car length over Scott Dixon right now. Looks like Colton Herta. He got a nice run out of turn number 2, starting to close in on Rinus VK.
Yeah, that lead for VK shrinks noticeably as he moves into turn number 3, but then he gets himself a little bit of room, and then it's Herta and Dixon. Right now, 1, 2, 3, pretty evenly spaced from one another.
Yeah, VK with the advantage. Herta about 4 or 5 car lengths behind in turn number 4. They exit down the middle of the racetrack.
Yeah, it stays pretty much the same disparity that we saw last time. And then, Davey, right now, I guess what we refer to as race pace.
Race pace, exactly. The race is going to change so much from right now. We're watching where everybody's at. But as the race starts getting the miles in and we go through some pit stops, it's going to be a completely different pace. But right now, showing the strength is those 2 young guns, first and second, but then you got that veteran Scott Dixon stalking right behind him.
Rinus VK, Colton Herta, Dixon, Carpenter, and Kanaan, the top 5. Castroneves, Hunter-Reay, Pillow, Erickson, and Rossi, the top 10. We will complete 10 laps next time by. And we heard Colton Herta say during our driver interviews of the pre-race show, he said, look, if the opportunity's there early, I'm going to take it.
Well, I think he did, and I think he wanted to lead that lap. He's led a lap at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the Indy 500. I think he's happy running second, saving some fuel right now, to be honest. honest with you.
Let's go to pit road and Ryan Marine.
Still early stages, guys, but already the drivers are starting to communicate to their teams about the handling of the race cars. Marcus Ericsson right now running into ninth place, has a little bit of understeer, but overall it feels pretty good. The team is coaching him through the fuel mileage as well.
So, lap 11 getting ready to be completed. We gave you the top 10. We'll give you 11th place, Ed Jones, Rosenquist, O'Ward, Sato and Harvey through 15th, McLaughlin 16th, Fittipaldi 17th, Ray Hall 18th, Daly 19th, Ferrucci 20th, Montoya 21st, Newgarden 22nd, Hildebrand 23rd, Hinchcliffe 24th, Power 25th, Pagano 26th, Andretti 27th, Wilson 28th, 29th, Bourdais, 30th, Karam, 31st, Di Silvestro, 32nd, Killen, 33, Max Chilton. For Will Power, big charge at the start, Davey. Is he going to pick his spots? I mean, he does want to wear his tires out, doesn't want to burn too much fuel. I guess he figures in this first stint, if he can pick up 7 spots, he's got to feel pretty good about that.
Absolutely. He got into a position. He probably now he knows what his car's going to do. He did a great job going 2 and 3 wide on the start of that race, or the very first lap, I should say, to get by those guys. Now he's falling in, seeing what his car's going to do. Try to save fuel as much as he can in this draft, but he's going to try to pick off everybody he can early as he can.
Colton Herta's coming into turn number 1, Nick Yeoman.
Is right there, about a car length behind Arenas VK. Then has to jump out of the throttle, but Michael, he just about had the battle for the lead.
Yeah, he closed in these last couple of laps. Did Colton Herta. VK, nice line out of the exit of turn number 2. Colton Herta, nice run as well. Still about a 3-car length advantage for Arenas VK.
Another good battle is the one for 5th. Tony Kanaan has it. Elio Castroneves would like to get it. That battle right now is working its way into turn number 3. Battle up front sets up in front of you, Chris.
Yeah, Castroneves is just ahead of Ryan Hunter-Ray. That is 6th and 7th. Castroneves has Kanaan in his sights.
Last time by, Colton Herta got a really good run off of turn number 4. Doesn't look like any such luck this time, Nick.
Nope, he's about 3 car lengths behind Arenas VK. Another 3 back to Scott Dixon. And it's Ed Carpenter looking a little racy in 4th. He'll back off by about 2 car lengths.
Wind starting to gust from the east, rather chilly. That will beat the drivers in the south end of the short shoot. Still Arenas VK, 4 car lengths over Colton Herta.
Youngest driver in the field running in 1st. Second youngest driver running in 2nd. Arenas VK, Colton Herta respectively. Then a gap back before 40-year-old Scott Dixon running in 3rd.
Yeah, VK has increased that lead in the north short shoot to about 5 car lengths, easily through 4, about a 6 car length advantage on Herta.
14 laps complete this time by. If we're looking for a battle, it's Kanaan, Castroneves. It's the battle for 5th into turn number 1.
Yeah, Elio's been wearing out that rear wing of Tony Kanaan. He's going to have to make up a little ground this time, though, Michael. It's 4 car lengths in the short shoot.
The wily old veterans for 5th, 6th, and 7th. That's Tony Kanaan, Elio Castroneves, then Ryan Hunter-Ray. The battle for 1st and 5th rages down that back straightaway.
Normalcy has returned to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway because Tony Kanaan and Elio Castroneves are slugging it out right now in turn number 3. Kanaan now with about a 3-car length advantage over his old rival.
And he is looking to get closer to Ed Carpenter as they exit turn number 4. He's trying to get into 4th.
15 laps complete this time by. Arenas VK, Colton Herta, Scott Dixon, Ed Carpenter, and Tony Kanaan, the top 5. Elio Castroneves, Ryan Hunter-Ray, Alex Palou, Marcus Ericsson, and Alexander Rossi, the top 10. We pause 10 seconds for stage 9 notification. This is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Network.
It's race day.
500 is won by Takuma Sato.
On WIBC, WIBC HD2, and WFNI Indianapolis.
Using the power of technology to make the world a better place every day, leading global technology provider NTT works together with organizations to enhance customer and employee experiences, transform cloud strategy, modernize networks, and strengthen cybersecurity. Visit global.ntt/NTT IndyCar and download the official IndyCar mobile app to discover how NTT is digitally transforming one of the most diverse and challenging series in all of motorsports.
The Honda Civic and the Accord are uniquely stylish in their own way. But you know what they have in common? Reliability and comfort? Sure. Available turbocharged engines? Of course. But also, the driver, having fun for no reason, except for the thrill of driving a Honda. Kelley Blue Book's 2020 Best Value Brand. Contact your Honda dealer or shop online today.
Based on 2020 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
Now, stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
Hey, who's winning? What? Somebody spinning?
Race fans know the track is loud. For the hard of hearing, this confusion happens every day on the telephone. RelayIndiana.com can help. RelayIndiana.com is a free service that provides telephone access to the hard of hearing, so users have normal phone conversations through relay operators. Relay Indiana also provides free equipment to those who qualify. Enjoy the race and phone conversations. Visit RelayIndiana.com now.
Wednesday, the Indy Fuel wrap up the regular season home schedule and prep for the playoffs. The Fuel hosts the Kansas City Mavericks at 7, but get there early because it's all-you-can-eat night. Yeah, you heard correctly. All-you-can-eat night means unlimited hot dogs, hamburgers, and popcorn all night. And with the Fuel headed to the playoffs, everyone is ready to celebrate. Let's go Fuel! Wednesday is also Player Appreciation Night. Get your tickets now. IndyFuelHockey.com. That's IndyFuelHockey.com.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC.
Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Network would like to thank these stations for carrying the Indy 500, WTXK in Montgomery, Alabama, WCLS in Spencer, Indiana, and WWCW in Corey, Pennsylvania. Updates from Pit Road, Alex Wolf.
For Team Penske, Will Power, the team still not sure what happened before the start, but Will Power right now on the radio not saying much about his car. On the other hand, Simon Pagino's Menard Chevrolet not happy with the balance. Team says that he's just riding around waiting for that first pit stop.
Ryan Marine.
Rinus VeeKay, the leader, very happy with his race car, but he is burning a lot of fuel out in front, and Colton Herta, running second, is quite content to let him do so. Brian Herta, Colton's father and strategist, just came over the radio and gave Colton a fuel number to hit. If he can hit that, then he'll get an extra lap on this first stint. That could pay dividends down the road.
So, Davey, your thoughts and impressions on the strategy unfolding?
Yeah, well, that's a key thing to do, and we heard it from him at the start, before the start of this race. Manage your fuel now early and be prepared for the end of the race. Now, yellows could mess everything up and change everything they're doing right now, but you can't count on that. So right now, VeeKay, he's a young lion out there, wanting to lead laps, doing a great job. Don't blame him for wanting to do that, but when you look at the big picture, it may cost him a little too much fuel to be in victory lane at the end.
Well, that first stint, we expected pit stops between lap 20 to 35, so we might see some scurrying down.
Yeah, really the number, the number here is always at 28 to 30. That's always kind of been the same for years and years. That's the number that everybody kind of shoots for to come in and do their pit stops. But if the car's handling really good and you have the fuel, stretch it out as long as you can.
Looked like Rinus VeeKay might have been baiting Colton Herta a little bit to get him to take the point, but Jake Query, he didn't take the bait, at least not yet anyway.
Colton Herta said, you know what, this is fine. Why don't you go into turn number 3? I'll just simply follow behind. Scott Dixon is then there in third. A little bit of a gap back. Then it's Ed Carpenter and then Castroneves and Hunter Ray who've gotten around Kanaan.
You're right, guys. The bait was here out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. It sure looked like Herta was going to make the pass, but he stayed behind.
He's getting another run again to the start-finish line into turn number 1.
Yeah, and when he gets to the yard of bricks, he gets to within a car length and then immediately jumps out of the throttle. Michael, that's how you save fuel and figure out your car here early in this race.
Correct. You're testing the water, saving a little fuel, and that's what Colton Herta and his dad Brian Herta know best. Now Colton Herta, nice run out of turn number 2, maybe pressuring Rinus VeeKay.
We will see if Colton Herta, it looks like he wanted to peek to the inside of VeeKay, decided against it, backs out now. It's about a 2-car length advantage again for VeeKay.
And again, the top 3 are a little bit removed from the 4th place Ed Carpenter. It's Scott Dixon watching the 220-somethings dance in front of him.
Yeah, we thought Carpenter and Castroneves was going to heat up a little bit, but that would sorted itself out in the north end, Nick Yeoman.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. That's the battle for the 4th position. Ed Carpenter's advantage this time over the 3-time Indy 500 winner. About 3 car lengths into turn 2.
Elio Castroneves about 8 car lengths over Ryan Hunter Ray, who you heard Jake Query call getting around Tony Kanaan last time by. Once again, Colton Herta looking on Rinus VeeKay.
Colton Herta's car is black with yellow accentuation. All of a sudden, it presents itself to the eye when it comes up close on Rinus VeeKay. But VeeKay again gives himself a car length advantage.
Yeah, it gets that to about a 3 car length advantage. Now Herta puts some pressure again on the front straightaway.
It's Kanan and Carpenter. That one really heated up off of turn number 4. That, too, has settled itself out as the leader's already setting up for turn number 2. Sorry, Nick.
There we go. Here comes Renus VK. Then it's Colton Herta. Again, that gap about the same. This time by though, Scott Dixon starting to pick up ground ever so slightly. Colton Herta about 2 car lengths behind Renus VK down the back straight.
Renus VK exiting turn 2 got just a little bit quicker to that middle groove. Now he works his way to the apex of turn number 3. Colton Herta again just behind.
Yeah, Colton Herta about a 3 to 4 car length behind VK as they exit turn number 4. VK by 3 car lengths.
It's a strange scenario, Davey. It's almost as if, though, they're forcing people to pass. I mean, guys just are content to just ride around till that fuel window opens up.
Yeah, one thing that we're noticing, Carb Day, Dixon had the fastest lap at a 228 range. Right now, the fastest lap's in the 217 ranges. Marks over 10 miles an hour off of what we see in a Carb Day. I think they were just a lot of give and take. We've seen a lot of passing. The cars are close together right now. But I don't think I think there could be some passing done. They're just not excited about doing it. Just stay in line, save fuel, and see how this thing lays out.
Yeah, I mean, Colton Herta led the first lap. Renus VK has led 24 cents. And, Davey, we said very early on off the top that, Will Power was +6, Harvey was +5. Elio picked up a couple of spots in Ferrucci, but we've not seen much change since.
Yeah, and it's ended, right? And those guys did that really on the start of the race. So they picked them up when the track was clean and they could do it. But right now, big line of cars. I'm still impressed how close they could run together. Nobody's just running away with anything. But we'll yet to see if we can do passing at will when time comes.
27 laps complete next time by. Renus VK is your leader. Herta is second. Scott Dixon is third. Ed Carpenter is fourth. Elio Castro-Evans is fifth. Ryan Hunter-Ray is sixth. Seventh, Tony Kanaan. Eighth, Alex Below. Ninth, Marcus Erickson. Alexander Rossi is 10th. Jones is 11th. Rosenquist is 12th. Pato Award is 13th. Kubasato is 14th. Jack Harvey is 15th. 16th, McLaughlin. 17th, Fittipaldi. 18th, Ray Hall. 19th, David. 20th, Ferrucci. 21st, Montoya. 22nd, Joseph Newgarden. 23rd, J.R. Hildebrand. James Hinchcliffe, 24th. Pagano, 25th. 26th is Power. 27th, Andretti. 28th, Wilson. 29th, Bourdais. 30th, Karam. 31st, Simona Di Silvestro. 32nd, Max Chilton. 33rd, Dalton Kellett. Again, 27 of 200 laps complete. This leaderboard update is brought to you by On Location. Experience the biggest moments in sports, entertainment, and music with On Location, the official fan travel partner of the Indy 500. Visit OnLocationEXP.com to learn more and secure your experience today. That's OnLocationEXP.com.
The 105th running of the Indianapolis 500 is brought to you by Miller Lite. Taste you can depend on. Miller Lite is proud to be the official beer partner of the Indy 500. It's Miller time.
If I learned one thing from this great game of baseball, it's that she'll humble you. You think you've got it figured out, you check the standings, and you're in last place again. I'm Eric Rubino, Fantasy Baseball GM, and I can put my team in position to win every single time, but I can't play the games, people. At least Progressive's Name Your Price tool has options based on my budget. It never lets me down, unlike my pitching staff. Amateurs!
Get options based on your budget with Progressive, even if you're not a legend in your own mind. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is 2018 Indy 500 winner Will Power. Stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
The Indiana union construction industry remains focused on getting the job done and keeping our communities running. We all look forward to getting back on track. For over 100 years, our contractors and skilled tradesmen and women built and maintained Indiana's hospitals, highways, bridges, schools, and utilities, essential infrastructure that keeps our state moving forward during all conditions. And with safety as a top priority, we're ready for whatever it takes to rebuild our economy. We built Indiana's past. We'll be there to build Indiana's future. The Indiana Union Construction Industry. Value on display every day.
This is Representative Jerome Stanford with the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. With an innovative training center, state-of-the-art facility, and an excellent apprenticeship program, the Indiana Carpenters Union is producing the most efficient, productive, and professional carpenters, millwrights, and floor coverers in the industry. Skilled on principle, union by choice.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC.
This is Pato Award. On this Memorial Day weekend, the NTT IndyCar Series salutes the men and women serving in the United States Coast Guard. Thank you for your service.
Lap 31, pit stops underway. Ryan Marine.
VK hits from the lead. He's led all but one lap so far. Here comes number 21 Bitcoin Chevrolet for Ed Carpenter Racing. Loves that race car. Don't expect any changes. They do take a tear off on the aero screen, and he's down and away.
Pietro Fittipaldi, Max Chilton among those we see coming to pit road, Davey. So it's time.
It's time. They're going to start coming down. Colton Herta decides to stay out. Ed Carpenter, VK's teammate, coming in with Ryan Hunter-Ray right behind him.
And Ryan Hunter-Ray has been running in the top 10 all day. That's where he started. And Rob Blackman, he's making that 60-mile-per-hour crawl down pit road. The DHL machine of Ryan Hunter-Ray comes into your view.
He's the 2014 500 champ is Ryan Hunter-Ray. He'll be making his first pit stop of the afternoon as he pulls into the pit stall. 4-sticker Firestone Firehawks that tear off of the windshield. Speedway fuel, down and away, Ryan Hunter-Ray.
Pretty good stop for Ryan Hunter-Ray, Davey.
Really good stop for actually Ryan Hunter-Ray and VK. Fittipaldi had a bit of a difficulty. So does Ed Carpenter, stalled in the pit.
Ryan Marine.
Big problems for Ed Carpenter. He has stalled in the pits. They finally got it refired, but he lost about 10 seconds sitting still on pit lane. He is back in the fight, but lost a lot of ground.
These reports from Pit Road brought to you by Speedway, the official fuel and convenience store of the Indianapolis 500-mile race. Rob Blackman has Colton Herta. Alex Wolf.
We have trouble with Stephen Wilson. He's spun. He's made contact. The right front suspension is damaged as Will Power comes in loose condition on that car. 4 tires, Speedway fuel for Will Power. He's going to have to be careful. Just outside, splitting the middle is Sage Karam with Stephen Wilson sitting with the rear end facing southward at Indianapolis. A scary moment as he came spinning down the pit lane.
Caution on the course. Let's get Rob Blackman to wrap up his pit call.
Herta, who started the race P2, he came to pit road P2. 4 new Firestone Firehawks for Colton Herta, as well as Speedway fuel and a new windshield tear-off. Colton Herta down and away in 7.1 seconds. An impressive pit stop for the young man who's trying to become the youngest winner in the history of the Indianapolis 500.
Davey, that was very odd what unfolded with Steph Wilson.
Yeah, it looks like the brake bias. What happens with these carbon fiber brakes is they have to have heat to work. And when you're out on the racetrack, you're not using your brakes. So usually you want to come down that back straightaway, put your foot on that brake pedal, get heat in those brakes, and look like what happened is he just got on them too late, didn't have heat in them, hits that inside wall, and ruins his day.
And that's when the guys working the pit boxes, boy, they need to have their head on a swivel. That's a prime example of why.
Yeah, he went by a few pit stalls, luckily stayed out of the pit stalls, stayed against that outside wall inside the pit lane. And very, very disappointing day for Steph Wilson. Just wasn't prepared with those brakes, it looks like.
And the 59 of Max Chilton has to come on and off pit road. He violated the pit road speed. And really, really tough day for Steph Wilson. Likeable young man. He was so excited and had a pretty good month, pretty uneventful month, and was looking forward to a solid day, Davey.
Yeah, very sad. I mean, it came together the last second. He has a great sponsor supporting him and wanted to see him this happen. And, man, just coming in for your first pit stop. You know, driver error, really, at the end of the day. But you got to remember, he hasn't been in a car for a long time. He's a good kid. He hasn't been in the car for 3 or 4 years. This is all new to him again.
While we have time, let's welcome in our good friend Mark Royce, president of General Motors, GM Global Product Development, Global Design, Global Quality, and Optimal Excellence. Mark, it's been a couple of years since we've had you in the booth. Welcome back.
Thank you, Mark. It's wonderful to be here with people, and you know, it's just it's a great day for IndyCar racing in America to be back here at the Speedway. So really excited to see everything and see the race start to unfold. So thank you.
Does this Arctic White 2021 Corvette Stingray convertible add anything to your level of excitement at all?
It absolutely does. You know, we worked for quite a few years on getting the architecture right, and to be able to showcase it here the second time, at Indy as a pace car this year as a convertible has just been special. It's a great car. Got a chance to get out on the track yesterday, and it performs just beautifully. So mid-engine design, made in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and we're just very proud of it and proud to be here and represent it.
An amazing record. 18th time a Corvette has served as a pace car starting in 78. The 32nd time a Chevrolet has paced going back to 1948.
That's correct. Yeah, no, it's been a great history of Chevrolet here at the Speedway all the way back to 1911 when the year that Chevrolet was actually formed. We had Arthur start that race, and then Gaston, actually one of the other brothers, won in 1920. So huge history of Chevrolet here. Couldn't be proud. In the military, the military trip that you had with our trucks today was just 44 trucks, all branches of the military. Just what makes Memorial Day in America great.
Mark, let's talk about the features of the power plant of this car.
Absolutely. It's a 6.2 liter. It's made in a place called Tonawanda, New York, and it's our small block LT2, and it makes about 495 horsepower through a dual clutch transmission and transaxle. So it's really a completely different car than Corvette's ever seen. As you know, Corvette was a front engine car its entire existence from all the way back to 1953. So a great change, and we can now get all the power to the ground and get the speed we want out of it as well, and keep it pretty accessible and affordable for most people. So it's a great formula.
You know how happy Scott Dixon was that it was convertible, right? What happened the last time a convertible paced the field?
Oh yeah, that's right. And it's really a great tribute to the whole architecture of the car, again with the convertible. So yeah, we can see Scott Dixon here, which is it's tough for him. So I hope he can get us started.
Well, any time in the future that, the anchor and the driver analyst, you need somebody to shake that down. I won't drive. I'll let Davey drive.
Well, anytime, Mark. We'd love to have you do that. So thank you very much.
And we know you're really happy about what's going on in 2 weeks with the Detroit Grand Prix at Belle Isle.
We do. That's a big weekend for Detroit. 6 hours of TV and racing. IMSA, the whole Indy Lights piece of it, along with IndyCar and 2 races. So the Duel in Detroit's going to be a great weekend.
Mark Royce, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks for having me.
President of General Motors, GM Global Product Development, Global Design, Global Quality, and Optimal Operational Excellence. Let's go to pit road and Ryan Marine.
Big development for the pole sitter, Scott Dixon. He had to come in for emergency service because he ran out of fuel, and he still sits on the pit lane, has now gone 1 lap down. As a matter of fact, they've been trying to get the engine refired after giving him that a little bit of fuel that's allowed based on the emergency service rule. It has not worked. Now they take the cowling off the back of the PNC Bank Honda and go to work. They're going to try and get it refired again in front of me. And it finally does roar back to life, but costly for Scott Dixon, the pole sitter. He's gone down a lap on pit lane.
We had settled into a really nice pace. Davey Hamilton always right with the world, and then, my goodness.
When I say when the face of the race is going to change, well, it changed early than I expected with this little Scott Dixon so dominant, and this yellow comes out. He stays out trying to take advantage of this yellow, but runs out of fuel, goes a lap down on the pits.
Yeah, they had to get that pit road cleaned off in order to be able to, get Steph Wilson's car clean from pit road in order to open up the pits to let drivers and cars come down. And the thing is, Davey, there are other cars that have not pitted yet too, and they got to be a little concerned. They got to be on the radio.
Yeah, now the pits are open right now. It looks like Rossi has issues as well. They're plugging in the bickle cord, what we call it, into the electronics of the car. He stopped on pit lane as well. Must have ran out of fuel, still trying to get it to start, so he's running into problems too with that Honda powered Napa car.
So the drivers we have not seen come to pit road on lap 37 were under caution because of the pit road incident involving Steph Wilson, Castro Neves, Palou, Rosenquist, Award, Sato, and Erickson. Let me check that. Erickson has been to pit road. Rossi's been to pit road. He's still there. Then McLaughlin, Rahal, Montoya, and Newgarden. But maybe it looks like on cue, all of those drivers are headed our way.
Yes.
Let's go to Rob Blackman.
Let's start with Scott McLaughlin, the rookie. He's the first to pit of the group you were just speaking of. 4 new Firestones, a fresh windshield tear-off, and Speedway fuel. The same can be said for Graham Rahal, as Rahal gets 4 new Firestones. He is down and away. And Takuma Sato, who came to pit road, the defending champion, he came to pit road P7. Takuma Sato down and away after his first pit stop of the afternoon.
Scott Sander.
All 3 Aero McLaren cars in at the same time. Pato Award, Juan Pablo Montoya, Felix Rosenquist, all away cleanly, right behind J.R. Hildebrand and Joseph Newgarden, all under yellow. Conor Daly stopped under green just before all this happened. Bad timing.
Alex Wolf.
Emma Pagano made a 4.5-second stop for fuel a couple of laps ago, came in for full service
4 tires and fuel, 2 turns of front wing, 7.69 seconds for the Menards team.
This report for the pits brought to you by Speedway, official fuel and convenience store of the Indianapolis 500, Ryan Marine.
Elio Castroneves pitted from the lead. He did not have to take emergency service, so that is very good news from him. The team has been very thrilled with how he's been able to save fuel thus far in this race, and that definitely helped him out there. You guys mentioned Alexander Rossi. Looks like the same problem that Scott Dixon had, just unable to get the car refired after emergency service. The crew is now setting up to do a full service stop the next time he comes around, but looking at the scoring pylon, he and Scott Dixon have plummeted down to 31st and 32nd based on their problems on pit lane.
38 laps complete. We're under caution to the 105th Indianapolis 500.
At Firestone, we build tires for getting you out there. Durable tires for ticking off mile markers and for getting to your seats on time. Dependable tires for kicking up dirt or for passing on the outside. Hard-working tires for racing 500 miles and the side hustle that affords you first row. But don't take our word for it. Try them for yourself with a 90-day buy and try guarantee. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone. Conditions apply. See firestonetire.com/warranty for details.
This is Jake Query, Turn 3 announcer of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Network, with this Driven to Save Lives Fastback brought to you by Indiana Donor Network, official partner of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Did you know that in the time it takes an Indy car to complete a 2.5-mile lap around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, you can do something legendary to save lives? By signing up to be an organ and tissue donor, you can save up to 8 lives and help heal 75 more. Sign up to be an organ donor at driventosavelives.org. That's driven, the number 2, savelives.org.
Now, stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
911, what's your emergency?
In an emergency, voice is best.
Damn it, I told you what was going to happen to begin with.
But what if you can't call?
Escalated domestic disturbance reported east of downtown. Be advised, alert was received by a 911 emergency text. Caller is hiding in a closet and can't use her voice.
When the situation is too dangerous to make a call, text to 911 capability now helps Hoosiers. But in most emergencies, voice is still best.
My sister's not breathing. Please hurry.
In the last 5 years, Hoosiers have used text capability in over 1 million 911 sessions. It's of great help to the deaf and speech impaired and to those in select dangerous situations. Thanks to the statewide 911 board, Indiana leads the nation with all 92 counties having in- and outbound text capability. For more, visit in911.net.
It's good to hear your voice. Help is on the way.
911. Before you text, voice is best.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Indianapolis 500 on these great stations, WMNI in Columbus, Ohio, WILO in beautiful Frankfort, Indiana, and WGN in Chicago. Got to spend some time with the folks from WGN before we went on the air today. We appreciate them actually being here and enjoying all the festivities. So, Davey, as we get ready to complete lap 41, it's Herta, VK, Daly, Hunter Ray, and Castro Neves, the top 5. Below, Award, Sato, McLaughlin, and Rahal. And we look at the other end of the scoring pylon, Scott Dixon, Alexander Rossi, 31st, 32nd, each a lap down.
How about that? Now Daly, he's a big question mark. He got the timing better than everybody, gained 16 positions to find himself in that 3rd spot. Perfect timing on the pit stop for him. I'm not sure how he did. I got to look back to see how he got in front of Castro Neves, Ryan Hunter-Ray, Plo, and Award those guys. But right now, it shows him in that 3rd position.
Couple of updates to pit road. Let's start with Ryan Marine.
Yeah, just to get confirmation from both Andretti Autosport and Chip Ganassi Racing, it was simply a case for Scott Dixon and Alexander Rossi of running out of fuel and then an inability to get the engine refired, and that has cost them dearly. They lost a lap because of that on pit lane.
Let's go to Alex Wolf.
The reason for the caution, Stephen Wilson with that trouble on pit lane talked to the team, and they said that when he slammed on the brakes, Davey Hamlin hit the nail right on the head. The weight transfer got him, and brakes locked up, and he lost it. It was too late. Elsewhere on my section, Sage Care tire pressure adjustment. They said the car's feeling good, but just having trouble passing.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what happens. These brakes are very tricky. They work great. They're the best brakes. They're amazing how well they work, but when you don't use them and don't have heat in them, all the time, they can grab like that and catch you by surprise.
Yeah, big surprises. We mentioned Dixon and Rossi each a lap down with their issues on pit road. 31-32 is where their positions are. Steph Wilson will finish 33rd. Conor Daly, the big winner in those round of stops. Davey, he's plus 16.
Not sure how he did that. I got to look back at exactly what went on there. He was just kind of back in the field in that 18th, 17th position. And next thing we know, after this round of stops, he finds himself in third. A lot of the great guys contending to win find themselves in the back, including Dixon.
Yeah, we'll give you a full field rundown this time by as we're still under caution. It's Herta, VK, Daly, Hunter Ray, and Castro Neves, 1 through 5. 6th is Below, 7th O'Ward, 8th is Sato, McLaughlin 9th, Ray Hall is 10th, Rosenquist 11th, Joseph Newgarden is 12th, Juan Montoya is 13th, Tony Kanaan is 14th, Jack Harvey is 15th, Simon Pagenaud is 16th, Santino Ferrucci is 17th, Erickson is 18th, 19th Hildebrand, 20th Jones, 21st is Karam, 22nd is Power, Sebastian Bourdais is 23rd, Dalton Kellett is 24th, Simona Di Silvestro is 25th. 26th is Ed Carpenter, 27th is James Hinchcliffe, 28th is Emerson Fittipaldi, 29th is Max Chilton, 30th is Marco Andretti, 31st is Scott Dixon, he's a lap down, Rossi is a lap down in 32nd, and 33, Wilson, he'll finish 33rd, we should say. He is out of the race, and back of the field goes a lap down because they went in during a closed pit. They've got to come back.
They got to come back. That's exactly right. Another thing with Rossi and Dixon, they came in, they topped off right now. They have more fuel than anybody else. Unfortunately, they're both a lap down.
So it's just strange, and that's the thing that is so incredible about this place, Davey. I mean, there were a lot of drivers feeling pretty good about their lot in life, and then. Boy, it's the timing of things like what happened on pit road.
Yeah, the way this race goes, it always changes so much from the start to the finish, and it's going to change completely again, I feel. It's still really early. We just got past our first round of pit stops for 42 laps into 200. I still think there's going to be a lot to happen. But everybody this week, this entire month, thinking Scott Dixon's got this, including myself, and just one little thing, run out of gas. And whatever reason, they run out of fuel, and the cars weren't starting. It could be vapor locked. Who knows what happened? We could get them things fired again.
It's interesting to note, Davey, that we look back at the field and, like, for instance, Simon Pagenaud acted as though he was going to come to pit road, and we do see the 48, the American Legion machine of Tony Kanaan. He is coming to pit road.
He's coming to pit road, so not sure what's going on there. We see Hildebrand coming on right now, just going to be a stop and go as well as far as getting some fuel in that thing as much as he can. He was competitive, running good, finds himself towards the back of the field as well.
Ryan Marine.
I can update the case of Tony Kanaan at least. Evidently, he entered a closed pit earlier in this sequence. He was going to have to go back to the back of the field anyway on the restart, so they brought him in just to top him up with fuel. Maybe that pays some dividends down the road. And as a side note, just an update on Scott Dixon. I just heard him over the radio. Usually unflappable, but he just said, oh, what a start to the day.
Yeah, what a start to the day indeed. And it's fascinating to watch the best laid plans, Davey. I mean, they've had that plan and work, their race day plan and work for quite some time.
Yeah, so we talk about how fast the Andretti cars and the Ganassi cars are. Well, now we find two of them, two of the contenders in the back, and Kanaan being one of them with that teammate, his Scott Dixon. You got Rossi in the back right there, Marco Andretti with an Andretti car back there. Just you never know what's going to happen, I tell you. Hinchcliffe in that 26th spot. Carpenter, another guy, started 4th, finds himself in 25th. The girl that started last, Simona, she's ahead of all those guys at 24th.
We can only assume, Davey, that one of the things that has taken such a lengthy amount of time was the timing. We had cars coming onto pit road, had cars already on pit road when Steph Wilson came in and spun. And then there were cars that entered a cold. And I think even though there's a lot of transponders out there that help with timing and scoring, it's taking a while to get it all sorted out in terms of the running order. They want to make sure they have that right.
They want to have it right. Very difficult, too, because he spun out right at the very start of pit lane. And as soon as yellow comes out, pits do close. There were some guys that maybe didn't cross. Some of them just barely made it in on that pit lane, and some of them that didn't. Just bad luck. That's just all you could say. It's just bad luck when it comes to that.
For instance, on cue, Nick Yeoman, you look in front of you, and Max Chilton, I'm assuming, at the instruction of race control, has allowed 5 or 6 cars to move around him at the rear of the field. So Max Chilton, the 59 to the back of the field, a pit lane speed violation. Let's go to pit road.
Very pleased right now. They got lucky on the timing. A hair's breadth later, and the green might have hurt him. Instead, it helped him. They gained several positions. I talked to his crew chief. He loves the way the car was handling before all of this happened and is chomping at the bit to work with Renus VK to make up ground going forward.
Yeah, we have the explanation as to what was going on at the rear of the field with Max Chilton, a pit lane speed violation, Davey, and that's why all of those cars slipped around and he had to go to the rear of the longest line.
Had to go to the rear, and you're going to get nailed when that happens. It's unfortunate. Now he stays ahead of some of these guys because it did not put him a lap down, but it's going to put him in that 30th position, still ahead of Dixon and Rossi. Going to be interesting to see if Rossi and Dixon can make up that one lap that they're down right now.
Well, the lights are indeed out on the pace car. We have had 11 laps of caution, and it's going to be interesting to see how those fuel windows get adjusted now, Davey, as we're going to go back to green on lap 46.
Lap 46, almost a fourth of the way through this race, and like I said, it's going to change. The face of this race is still going to change a lot. But these young guns, how about that Herta, VK, and one of the Indy's favorite, Daly, the first three.
Yeah, and they come off of turn number 2 now. The lights are off on the pace car. As we mentioned, Colton Herta leads them to the midway point of the back straightaway, and we will rely on Jay Query to give us the roll call as they head north.
It did not take a lot of them, but Colton Herta has now surpassed his father on the all-time laps led list in the history of the Indianapolis 500. He has just behind him Renus VK, and then VK's teammate Conor Daly that is right behind him, followed by Ryan Hunter-Reay, Elio Castroneves, Alex Palou, Pata Award, Takuma Sato, Scott McLaughlin, and Graham Rahal rounds out the top 10. Chris Speed picking up coming at you.
Yeah, the Corvette Stingray is off the course, and they are single file. They exit turn number 4 with Colton Herta in the lead.
Fans are on their feet as Renus VK gets a strong run off of turn number 4. He's tucked right in behind Colton Herta as they head toward turn number 1.
All these drivers on cold tires, but Conor Daly's feeling fearless. He goes to the outside, but here comes Elio Castroneves into 4th. Michael, he's looking for 3rd.
Indeed, Elio Castroneves all around the rear wing of Conor Daly. Alex Palou will get around Ryan Hunter-Reay. Now Pato Award working on Ryan Hunter-Reay. That's the battle for 6th position.
Elio Castroneves made that pass on Conor Daly, and now he's going to shoot for 3rd. Side by side, they go into turn number 3, and Castroneves gets around Daly again, put him in 3rd.
Crowd is roaring in turn number 4 as Elio Castroneves has moved to 3rd. Herta in 1st, VK in 2nd.
Elio went high, he went low on both ends of the racetrack. His car is hooked up. A strong run for the 3rd place driver into turn number 1.
They're on their feet here in turn number 1 as well as their single file. It's Colton Herta, Renus VK, and the veteran Elio Castroneves.
The wily old veteran trying to show these youngsters a thing or two here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Colton Herta, now Renus VK will look to the inside of Colton Herta. Back to the outside, here comes VK.
Single file right now entering turn number 3, but not for long. All the way down to the bottom of the racetrack, it's Conor Daly that got back that position on Castroneves. Colton Herta's the leader into 4.
In the Air Force machine, it's Conor Daly now in 3rd. He has his sights set on Renus VK, his teammate. 1, 2, 3, Herta with the lead.
Very late move by Conor Daly into turn number 3. Renus VK, a strong run into turn number 1.
That was bold for Conor. He's looking even bolder, trying to get around Renus VK. His teammate, he'll come back in line. Colton Herta, the leader into turn 2.
Colton Herta about 2 car lengths over VK, then Daly, Castroneves, Alex Palou, and Takuma Sato round out your top 6. Here comes Renus VK. Going to take a look on Colton Herta and get to the inside.
And they work their way into turn number 3, and Colton Herta drifts up just a little bit. VK now falls in line. Then it's Conor Daly, followed by Castroneves.
A quarter of the way through this race, and everybody on their feet in turn 4, as VK about a couple of car lengths behind, exiting 4 behind Herta.
Lap 49, this time by Herta, VK, Daly, Castroneves, Palou, and Sato, the top 6 into turn 1.
It's go time for the Ed Carpenter teammates. Renus VK shoots to the lead, and Michael, he brings Conor Daly with him into 2nd.
Nice move. Conor Daly around Colton Herta. So VK, 2 car lengths in Daly, Colton Herta, then Elio Castroneves, Alex Palou round out your top 5. Here comes a pass for the lead.
And the lead as the crowd comes to their feet in turn number 3. Conor Daly of Noblesville, Indiana has taken the lead at the Indianapolis 500.
On the north side of the track through the short chute, everybody standing and waving for Conor Daly. About a 5 car length advantage.
Everybody on the front straight still on their feet. They're waving their hats as Conor Daly leads the Indianapolis 500 into into turn number 1.
Mark, I think I've got half of Noblesville here in turn 1. Conor Daly, your race leader into the short chute.
2 car lengths over Ritas VK is Noblesville, Indiana's Conor Daly. VK, then Colton Herta about 8 car lengths back. Still, Elio Castro Neves, Alex Pillow rounding out your top 5.
This was well earned for Conor Daly to get to the front of the field because he went low, he went high. Now he leads his teammate Ritas VK. Then it's Colton Herta and Elio Castro Neves.
And just think, a few laps ago it was Castro Neves getting behind, passing Daly for third. Now it's Daly in first, exiting turn number 4.
A well-timed pit stop gained 18 positions for Conor Daly, the top 2 into turn number 1.
It is a beautiful chrome silver car for Conor Daly. His advantage over his teammate Ritas VK, 2 car lengths out of turn 1.
He honors the Tuskegee Airmen, does Conor Daly. The U.S. Air Force sponsorship on that car. Swings wide, lets that car go to the middle of the racetrack. VK starts to tuck up under that rear wing.
Boy, they are working their way into turn number 3. It looks like one car until they get to the apex of the turn. Conor Daly followed by his teammate Ritas VK.
They are the 2 Chevys up front with a boatload of Hondas following them, exiting turn number 4. 4 car length advantage for Conor Daly.
Don't know that of the front pack, Dick Yeoman, Colton Herta might not be the smartest at this point. He is cruising around solidly in third.
Elio Castro Neves in the 4th position, jumps to the inside to get around Colton Herta. He's not close enough. And then how about Alex Pillow, Michael, so far sneaky in that 5th spot?
Yeah, just kind of riding right in that position. He's done a very good job thus far in the early stages of this race. Once again, down that back straightaway, the Carpenter teammates starting to go at it again.
Ed Carpenter's family owned this speedway till a year and a half ago. Now his team owns positions 1 and 2. Conor Daly followed by Ritas VK.
And those 2 cars have pulled away a little bit. Colton Herta's about 10 car lengths behind VK, who's in second. A 4 car length advantage for Conor Daly.
We will complete 53 laps this time by. It's Daly, VK, Herta, Castro Neves, and below the top 5. Sato, Award, Hunter Ray, McLaughlin, and Graham Ray hold the top 10 of the 105th Indianapolis 500.
Racing Optics is the official aero screen and helmet protective solution partner of IndyCar and NTT IndyCar Series. Racing Optics is a Wilson family-owned business with deep motorsport roots. Dempsey Wilson competed as a rookie in the 1958 Indy 500 with A.J. Foyt. Racing Optics is proud to continue the family legacy of participating in and working with IndyCar for 60-plus years. Visit racingoptics.com to learn more about windshield protection and helmet tear-offs featured on every IndyCar.
At PPG, we work hard every day to develop and deliver the paints and coatings that customers have trusted for over 135 years. We know that paint can do more than just change the color of your walls, because we've built our reputation by solving our customers' biggest challenges. From cars and airplanes to skyscrapers and houses, we protect and beautify the world. Visit ppg.com to find out more. PPG is proud to be the official aero screen of IndyCar.
This is the 2016 Indy 500 winner, Alexander Rossi. Stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
Dear driver, thank you. Thank you for slowing down when you saw the orange cones and road construction signs. My husband is one of those road workers. And today, you saved his life. If you hadn't slowed down, you would have missed that lane change, driven right into the work zone, and you would have killed him. Because you were driving differently. He'll be at our son's Little League game this weekend. He'll be there to walk our daughter down the aisle. He'll be out there tomorrow, making Indiana's roads safer. Thank you.
When driving in a construction zone, be smart, be alert, be in the zone.
This is Ward Daniels, business manager of Labor's Local 120. Everyone deserves a safe place to work. Do your part in the cone zone. Slow down, open your eyes, pay attention.
A message from Indiana's District Council of Laborers International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC.
Lap 56 here at the 105th Indianapolis 500. We watched Daly and VK work together for a handful of laps now, Daly.
Yeah, I've seen that. And it looks like VK pulls right up behind Daly, but doesn't attempt to pass him, just stays right behind him, saving that fuel. Daly had pitted a few laps later, 2 laps later than VK, so has a little more fuel. So VK probably wisely saying, hey, you leave, I'll follow you to try to save some fuel.
This segment is unfolding much like the last segment.
Yeah, it sure is. They're in line right now. The speeds are still at that 216. The Daly just ran a 216.9, for example. Then you go down the field, Ferrucci in 24th turned to 219. So the guys in the back are actually going faster than the guys in the front, but they just can't do anything with it.
Turn 3 gets a little racy. Pato Award into Takuma Sato, Jake Query.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Sato right now has about a car length and a half to make up. It's the battle for 6th right now. Sato trying to reel in that aero machine.
And then you also have Ryan Hunter-Ray, who's right on the backside of Takuma Sato down the front straightaway.
Yeah, Ryan Hunter-Ray gets a really nice run into turn number 1 to the bottom side of Takuma Sato.
Not able to pull off that pass. It was Sato a lap ago who got around Pato Award, and now Michael, the defending winner, is going to have to gather it back up.
He's kind of dialed in, riding around right now, as he did lose a lot of ground to Pato Award on this last time by about 7 car lengths back from Pato Award to Takuma Sato. Now Hunter-Ray starting to attack.
Ryan Hunter-Ray, as a matter of fact, started to take a peek on Takuma Sato. Chris, he decided against it. They're coming into your view.
Yeah, he's in that DHL machine, but he's also got a car right behind him, and that is the number 3 car of Scott McLaughlin.
McLaughlin gets a nice run off of turn number 4 as he tries to track down Ryan Hunter-Ray. But Graham Rahal, that United Rentals car, looks racy into 1.
Yeah, Graham, red, white, and blue on this Memorial Day weekend, trying to chase down that familiar Pennzoil car in turn 2.
That's the battle for ninth. Scott McLaughlin has it, and Graham Rahal wants it. They exit turn number 2. Both let their cars drift wide. Now everybody down to that white line on the inside of the back straight.
Another good battle that's shaping up right now, and it happens to be the battle for 5th. Alex Palou is right there, then it's Pato Award, and then again you wait before Takuma Sato.
Yeah, Palou has a nice little advantage in 5th. He's trying to make the move on Colton Herta to get up to 4th as they go down the straightaway.
Loses track of him just a little bit further back from them. Scott McLaughlin with a nice run on Hunter-Ray into 1.
Yeah, McLaughlin trying to find a ray around Ryan Hunter-Ray out of turn number 1. It's about 2 car lengths. That DHL car holds him off into 2.
Battle for 8th, about 3 car lengths. Ryan Hunter-Ray has the advantage over Scott McLaughlin. Now they snake their way back down that back straightaway. Still about 3 car lengths.
The leaders are setting up for turn number 3, and then we take a peek in on that battle between Ryan Hunter-Ray and that rookie, Scott McLaughlin, the Pennzoil machine, still unable to catch up to DHL.
Yeah, exiting turn number 4, working lap number 61. McLaughlin is trying to gain some distance on Hunter-Ray, but can't do it.
And we are under the impression, Davey, since we've completed lap 61, that before long, we might start to see some activity on pit road.
Yeah, the yellow helps some of these guys out, but yes, pit window is open. It opened up actually when it was supposed to. The first time it was extended yellow, so these guys can go a little bit farther if they want to, but the window's open now if they feel they need to make some changes early on.
So let's remind folks again, what does that car start to feel like? How does it behave when you're getting late into the stint?
Well, if your car's perfect, like some of these guys that we see up front, seems their car has a really good balance, meaning that it goes to the corner just as you want it to. It doesn't slide the front or the back one worse than the other, but it just loses overall grip. It just means that maybe you can't go to the corner wide open. It still has really good balance, but it just slows you down that little bit.
I know that racing is by definition you look at it, you see you want to go fast, you want to lead, you want to get out there, you want to run, but I think what we're seeing is an awfully lot of patient drivers here today.
Surprisingly,
yeah, that's not their normalcy. But boy, after the last stint of pit stops, it could get pretty interesting.
I think so. I think everybody's kind of holding back. We've heard that from multiple drivers. I always said that. Wait till 3/4 of this race is over before you really lay it out. We watch a replay right now of Rossi trying to go underneath Kellett down in turn 1. Gets underneath Kellett, gave him room, barely enough room, but Rossi got a little wiggly down there. That's been about 5 or 6 laps ago. Still can't get around Kellett, trying to line him up down the front straight right now.
Yeah, we start to see him accordion up a little bit in the south end, but they start to stretch back out again, Jake Query, as the leader, Conor Daly, heads to turn 3.
So we'll reset up front the way they run. It is Conor Daly with just behind him his teammate Rinus VK. Elio Castroneves now in the 3rd spot before Colton Herta and Alex Palou.
Castroneves has some ground to gain because he's about 5 or 6 car lengths behind VK, who's about 4 car lengths behind his teammate Conor Daly.
Pretty even separation among the top 5. It looks like that, Pato O'Ward is given thoughts of going after Alex Palou in 5th, Nick.
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of a 6-car breakaway as Pato O'Ward, Michael, has kind of distanced himself from 7th place running Takuma Sato.
Yeah, the field just kind of riding around right now, as Davey made mention a little bit earlier. Rinus VK starting to tuck up on that rear wing of Conor Daly. Certainly trying to save a little fuel, Jake.
Right now, you've got the front two. It's Daly and VK. Then there's a space back before Castroneves. Even space between Castroneves and Colton Herta.
Yeah, those cars, as you said, Jake, are evenly spaced. They exit turn number 4, completing 65 laps.
This time by, indeed, Kristen Arian among the top 10. A couple of guys who don't have a lot of experience here, Davey, giving their cars good rides today. 5th place running Alex Palou, and then certainly Scott McLaughlin in the 9th position.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Palou, we know he could win right now. McLaughlin, a rookie, given matter of fact, the highest running Penske car. Hard to believe that, but Newgarden's in the 11th position, a couple behind him, doing a great job, and those Chevrolets are showing strong right now as well.
And look who's injured toward the front. Plus 10, Joseph Newgarden. Plus 11, Juan Montoya.
Yeah, no surprise there. And, Castroneves, how about that? Just running in 3rd. Those guys are inching towards the front, but we got Kanon was up there, too, until, unfortunately, he had that pit stop error. Finds himself back in that 26th or 28th position. Another guy was contending to win this race, but Elio, not a full-time contender, didn't know if he's even going to have a ride, joins for the first time a team other than Penske at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, finds himself in that 3rd position.
66 laps complete here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
The 105th running of the Indianapolis 500 is brought to you by Miller Lite. Taste you can depend on. Miller Lite is proud to be the official beer partner of the Indy 500. It's Miller time.
Nya nya nya. Ba. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe. The broken Bunsen burner burns so bright. Southeast Asian Peninsula.
Hey, Jamie? Yes. I think the only line we need from you today is drivers who switch to progressive could say big.
Cool. I just gotta finish my warm-ups. Foul, throw in the towel. History.
Switch to Progressive today.
Santa ski slalom in a salmon skin suit.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
Did you know that diabetes, heart disease, and prostate cancer procedures can contribute to erectile dysfunction? Many men aren't aware of this or of all the treatment options that a board-certified urologist can offer. Understand your options and learn where you can find an ED specialist in Indy to help. Visit edcure.org to get the facts and find a urologist who can offer treatment options that work when pills and injections don't. Again, that's edcure.org. Sponsored by Boston Scientific.
The VA loan is one of the best benefits of being in the military. You can buy a home with no money down. You can refinance and cash out up to 100% of your home's equity. And interest rates are up to a full point lower than other loans. At HeroLoan.com, we want to earn your business. We pay for the appraisal and can close your VA loan in as little as 14 days. Get the loan you deserve and apply online today at HeroLoan.com. The only way to VA. NMLS number 1326241.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC.
This is James Hinchcliffe. On this Memorial Day weekend, the NTT IndyCar Series salutes the men and women serving in the United States Army. Thank you for your service.
Well, at lap 69, the pit window has opened, and one of the front runners came in early, Ryan Marine.
Rinus VK pitted from 2nd. Remember, he led the bulk of that opening stint and was the first one to come to pit lane. Same this second time around. First one on pit lane was Rinus VK. It was a clean stop once again. No changes for the Ed Carpenter Racing team. They were perfectly happy to run behind teammate Conor Daly during that stint, trying to make up some of the fuel they lost by leading the field through that opening stanza.
And Davey Hamilton subscribing to your theory. As soon as that window's up, get in there.
Get in there, yeah. If you're not going to go a lap down, which he isn't, he's about 3/4 of a straightaway ahead right now, down that back straightaway over his teammate Conor Daly, who hasn't pitted yet.
So, as we mentioned, the pit window originally was scheduled to open up around lap 56, but earlier we ran 12 laps of caution when Steph Wilson spun on pit road. Wilson, by the way, was okay. He'll finish 33rd today. Conor Daly comes to pit road, and Scott Sander will have his stop.
Drew said he loved the car on the last stint. Let's see if they make any changes. He is in on his marks. Fuel in. Tires up. Right front major makes any moves. Two twists on his front wing. Looks like they took a little bit out.
And a large roar of approval from his fans. Rob Blackman.
Pietro Fittipaldi, one of two rookies in the field, has just come to his pit box area. He was one of the first to pit earlier in the afternoon. This time with 4 fresh tires that tear off of the windshield and some speedway fuel. He is down and away in 8.7 seconds.
Scott Sander described those 2 turns of wing, Davey. What they hope to accomplish.
And he was right. He is actually right. They took the wing out of the car, meaning that he wants less front grip in that car. Just too much front grip, meaning that makes the back unstable sometimes. So took that a little bit. It's a small change, but it does make a difference. Right now, he comes off pit lane that is behind his teammate VK right now.
About 5 or 6 laps we hear it. Elio Castroneves may be coming, but we can tell that there's a sense of normalcy that's returned to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway because Elio Castroneves is leading the 500.
Yeah, he's leading the 500. How about that? Elio doing a great job. Like I say, one-off opportunity right now for him. I think he is going to run some more races this year, but finding himself leading this race, not even knowing if he's going to have a ride back in IndyCar ever again, and what a great accomplishment he has. Could be our fourth 4-time winner. Isn't that right? Yeah.
Yeah, and slowly but surely his teammate Jack Harvey is working himself into contention. He's 13th.
Yeah, and that's right. Harvey had a great car, just didn't qualify that well. He'll continue to crawl up the ranks, I think, as well. And then everybody had pit problems. It looks like Ed Carpenter, with his 2 teammates up front right now, Ed Carpenter is the one slowly gaining his way back. Finds himself in that 16th position. But you remember, he was in the back of this field too with a slow pit stop. Had a little problem, stalled the car. He went down. He was like in 28th position. It seems to be the only car kind of moving forward.
Ed Jones brings his car onto pit road trying to work his way into the top 15. Rob Blackman will wait to see Ed Jones come down pit road in just a minute. That Steelmaster car. He and Fittipaldi have had a pretty good day all in all.
Yeah, they just need to keep their noses clean. Fittipaldi's done a great job this entire month. I talked to his spotter, and he just says, man, the kids he asks so many questions. He really wants to know everything about how this race lays out, how these cars work, and he's just sucking all that information in. For his first race, he's got another big learning curve today, but he's doing a great job doing it.
Let's go to pit road, check in with Alex.
Red Auto Sport team for Simone Di Silvestro waiting, shaking the pit board as they wait for her to come in. There's 4 female pit crew members. They hit the marks perfectly. The 4 Firestone tires come off. A little slow on the right front. 18.5 gallons of speedway fuel going in. No adjustments on the front wing right now. Down to 8.82 seconds.
Rob Blackman.
Ed Jones with an excellent stop. First of all, for Jones, half a turn on that front wing to get a little bit more downforce. 4 fresh Firestone Firehawks, splash of fuel in the windshield, tear off for Ed Jones. He started P11. He was running P12 when he came to the pit road. 7.7 seconds down and away for Ed Jones in a Steelmaster Honda.
Alex Wolf.
Sage Karam comes in. The air pressure adjustment on the last stop. Much better from the first stint. A little bit better than usual. Fuel mileage a little slow. Getting out 9.66 seconds from the AES Indiana Chevrolet.
And just in front of Sage Karam, we see the rocket machine of Sebastian Bourdais coming out of his pit box and rejoining the fray. These reports from the pits being brought to you by Speedway, official fuel and convenience store of the Indianapolis 500. We saw Jack Harvey and that Sirius and XM Auto Nation machine come on and off pit road safely. Meanwhile, the front runners start to make their way onto pit road. And Ryan Marine, you're going to get plenty busy. Colton Herta, Elio Castroneves among those coming your way.
They will be pitting one in front of the other. It's Colton Herta coming in first, which means Elio Castroneves has to go around the number 26 to make it into his stall. He does so perfectly. Elio very happy with that race car. The focus has been on saving fuel for the first couple of stints. He's held up a bit. Colton Herta beats him out.
And we did also see Davey on the backstretch where they come back out onto the course of the exit at turn number 2. It gets a little hairy with cars at speed and cars coming off of pit road.
Now, it's going to be interesting to see. Matter of fact, Conor Daly and VK are going to beat Colton Herta onto the racetrack. They're coming through turn 2 onto speed. Colton Herta did a smart thing, passed Elliot Castroneves before he made that pit stop. Gave him a little advantage.
Yeah, we see Ryan Hunter-Reay blending in off of turn at number 2 now with those coming off of pit road. Scott McLaughlin, we see him bring his car to the attention of his crew. Let's go back up to the south end where Ryan Marine is set up.
It's been a relatively quiet afternoon thus far for Alex Below, but incidentally inside the top 10. Clean stop, no changes for the 10 car.
So we're looking for Pato Award, Sato, Rahal, Rosenquist, and Montoya, along with Erickson. So, yeah, I mean, it's time, and they're all coming, Davey.
They're all coming, and they're going to run out of fuel if they don't. But we see the speeds really stay the same right now. 200. Matter of fact, the leader, 221. Rahal's leading this race right now. Good lap for him.
Scott Sander.
An eventful stop is what Pato Award wants. He let a brief bit there. He'd like to get back out and play among the leaders again. Away cleanly. He doesn't have to turn and just goes straight away.
Rob Blackman.
Half a turn on the front wing for the defending champion Takuma Sato. Also fresh tires for him. Speedway fuel down and away for Sato. Sub 7 seconds. Takuma Sato, the defending champion. He came to pit road running second.
Much less uneventful trip to pit road for these teams and drivers this time, Davey.
Yeah, much less. No incidents. It looks like everybody at this point has made it in, made it out. Blending in right now as we see a few of these cars, including Pato Award coming on, blending right next to Ryan Hunter-Reay coming on that back straightaway.
Yeah, the last couple in this window to come to pit road are making their way now. We see the red and white Husky chocolate machine of Marcus Erickson make his way to the south end of pit road, and when he does so, he'll come into the view of Ryan Marine.
And he's entered my view. He's happy with that race car. Understeer at the start of the stint, but he likes it towards the end of the stint, so no changes for Marcus Erickson. Slight bobble on the right rear, but it doesn't matter. Still waiting on fuel. Bit of a delay getting the fuel out. 8.5 seconds, Marcus Erickson down and away.
And Graham Rahal among those coming on and off pit road for service, but he's coming on to pit road for service, we should say, and he's doing so into the view of Rob Blackman.
And we are indeed awaiting Graham Rahal. He pulls in just as I'm completing my sentence. Fresh Firestone Firehawks for Graham Rahal. Speedway fuel going in as well. No front wing adjustments. I repeat, no front wing adjustments for Graham Rahal. He is down and away, sub 7 seconds.
The last one to come to pit road, the ABC supply machine of J.R. Hildebrand, and it was a clean stop for J.R. Hildebrand. By the way, the 7 of Felix Rosenquist issued a drive-through penalty, pit lane speed violation. 81 laps complete. We'll reset the field when we come back to the Indianapolis 500-mile race.
At Firestone, we build tires for getting you out there. Durable tires for ticking off mile markers and for getting to your seats on time. Dependable tires for kicking up dirt or for passing on the outside. Hard-working tires for racing 500 miles and the side hustle that affords you first row. But don't take our word for it. Try them for yourself with the 90-day buy and try guarantee. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone. Conditions apply. See firestonetire.com/warranty for details.
The 105th running of the Indianapolis 500 is brought to you by Miller Lite. Taste you can depend on. Miller Lite is proud to be the official beer partner of the Indy 500. It's Miller time.
This is two-time Indy 500 winner Takuma Sato. Stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
This month at Dreyer & Reinbold BMW, lease a 330i X-Drive for just $399 per month. These all-wheel drive sedans are equipped with moonroof, heated seats, blind spot monitor, backup camera, Apple CarPlay, and more. Lease is based on 36 months, 10,000 miles per year, and $49.99 due at signing. For best selection, visit us soon at Dreyer & Reinbold BMW at I-465 in Keystone, US 31 South in Greenwood, and at DreyerReinboldBMW.com.
Hey Rays fans, if you're also a Colts fan and want to know how head coach Frank Reich navigates the pressures of coaching in life, come out and hear him speak at Northview Church June 5th and 6th. Coach Reich has experienced many highs and lows in life, from winning the Super Bowl to experiencing heartbreaking defeat. Through it all, he's always had the courage to move forward. Join us in person at a campus near you or online. For more details, visit northviewchurch.us.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC.
84 laps complete, the 105th Indianapolis 500. This leaderboard update brought to you by On Location. Experience the biggest moments in sports, entertainment, and music with On Location, the official fan travel partner of the Indy 500. Visit On Location, exp.com to learn more and secure your experience today. That's On Location, exp.com. Conor Daly is your leader. Rinus VeeKay is second. Pato O'Ward is third. Colton Herta is fourth. Ryan Hunter-Reay is fifth. Alex Palou is 6th. Elio Castro-Neves is 7th. Graham Rahal is 8th. Takuma Sato is 9th. Joseph Newgarden 10th. Jack Harvey 11th. Scott McLaughlin is 12th. Will Power 13th. Ed Jones 14th. Sage Karam is 15th. 16th Ed Carpenter. 17th Juan Montoya. Pagano 18th. Bourdais 19th. Andretti 20th. Fittipaldi 21st. Ferrucci 22nd. Hinchcliffe 23rd. Hildebrand 24th. Erickson 25th. Kanan is 26th. Kellett 27th. D. Silvestro is 28th. Chilton is 29th. Felix Rosenquist is 30th. A lap down in 31st, Alexander Rossi. A lap down in 32nd is Scott Dixon. Steph Wilson out of the race. He'll finish 33rd today. Will Power is plus 19 since the start. Daly's up 18. Karam plus 16. Plus 11, Newgarden. Plus 10 is Rahal. They're hitting 8 leaders, 14 lead changes, 1 caution for 12 laps. We pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Network.
It's race day. On WIBC, WIBC HD2, and WFNI Indianapolis.
Mark James, Davey Hamilton, and Davey after that round of stops. I think 2 of the winners, Takuma Sato and Graham Rahal, they timed their stops pretty well, along with Joseph Newgarden, all 3 of the top 10 now.
Yeah, all 3 in the top 10. Those Rahal cars all year long, Mark, have been somewhat struggling when it comes to practice and qualifying, but when it comes to race time, they both find themselves towards the front of the field. Graham had a lot of confidence coming into this race, but I have to say one thing. Donald was talking about records being broken today. One that I don't think is going to get broken is that Dixon record of leading some laps. If you get it right now, started from the pole and led none. What a surprise to all of us at this point.
Turn 3, Jake Query, Daly, VeeKay nose to tail.
Yeah, all of a sudden, Rinus VeeKay and Conor Daly are starting to bunch up again. Daly had worked his way around his teammate a couple of laps ago, Chris, but now all of a sudden, VeeKay looks like he might want it back.
He's just a couple of car lengths behind as they exit turn number 4. Daly, VeeKay, 1-2.
Yeah, O'Ward is 3rd, Colton Herta is 4th, and Ryan Hunter-Reay runs 5th into turn 1.
Yeah, don't count out the veteran of that DHL-sponsored car. Ryan Hunter-Reay runs in the 5th spot. Then it's 6th place, Alex Palou and Elio Castro-Neves, Michael, kind of the big loser with that second pit sequence.
Talk about that pit sequence. It was Rinus VeeKay who had about a 20 car length advantage over Conor Daly. Jake, to that point you just made, Conor Daly has a fast race car, and he has the lead.
Conor Daly had entered this race among all participants for the most races without ever having led, 7. But, Chris, he looks awfully comfortable up front.
He does, but it is a little uncomfortable behind because they are starting to line up much closer this time by.
Yeah, much closer off of turn number 4. Front 3 start to check out a little bit. Daly, VeeKay, and O'Ward.
They're all separated by about 1 or 2 car lengths. You know they can race, but right now they want to continue to settle a race pace. It's Conor Daly into turn 2.
The most racing on that last round of pit stops when everybody came in was Patricio O'Ward. Pato now about 3 car lengths behind second place running Herta.
Everybody again coming off of turn number 2 slants down to the bottom groove, then they get high entering turn number 3. Conor Daly followed by VeeKay, then it's Pato O'Ward, Colton Herta, and Ryan Hunter-Reay.
And the line out of the short chute that they take exiting turn number 4, all of these drivers using the same conservative approach at this point in the race.
Right now, Alex Palou, Elio Castro-Neves, Nick, that has my interest, the battle for 6th into turn 1.
It is the battle for 6th, and Takuma Sato may creep into the picture as well as they roar into turn number 1.
Well, for the battle for 6th, as we said, Alex Palou, then the machine of Elio Castro-Neves. Indeed, Takuma Sato putting a little pressure on Elio Castro-Neves. They make their way down the back straightaway.
Leaders setting up for turn number 3, and they again look like one car bouncing down to the bottom of the racetrack. By the way, Ryan Hunter-Reay decided I want 4th. He took it away from Colton Herta.
DHL machine, Ryan Hunter-Reay now in 4th, and he has Pato Award in his sights, trying to get third.
Ryan Hunter-Reay giving it a good ride for DHL today. Strong run off of turn number 4 for Renus VK, trying to track down Conor Daly into turn 1.
It's Conor Daly, VK Award, and then the charging Ryan Hunter-Reay. Michael, he put on one whale of a show a few years ago. That 28 car looks fast.
It certainly does. Only about 6 car lengths behind third place running Pato Award. Now Pato, good run out of turn number 2. Starts to close into the rear wing of Colton Herta.
So we take a look now at Colton Herta. I'll tell you what, 1, 2, 3 though. Let's look there first. It's Daly, VK, and then Pato Award, Hunter-Reay, and Colton Herta now is trying to draw a beat on all 4 of them.
Yeah, Colton Herta is trying to make that move. He exits turn number 4 in 5th, but the leader is Conor Daly out of 4.
Looking back a little further, about 6 back, in fact. Again, that's below Elio Castro-Neves. Elio playing peekaboo behind him into turn number 1.
Yeah, he definitely poked his nose down below that 10 car and thought better of it. Jumps out of the throttle. Elio 6 and 7.
Alex Palou now through the midway point of turn number 2. Then we'll reset. Elio Castro-Neves about 3 car lengths behind them. Same back to Takuma Sato. Your leader makes his way to 3.
They come from all over to converge in Indianapolis. Conor Daly of Noblesville, then it's Renus VK of the Netherlands, Pato Award of Mexico, Ryan Hunter-Reay, the Floridian, the Californian, Colton Herta. Everybody set sail to turn number 4.
Yeah, now through the middle of turn 4 was Conor Daly. A little bit different line with the lead.
Top 10, Daly and Herta, below Castro-Neves, Ray Hall, Sato, and Newgarden. Paul Page with his mid-race thoughts when we come back to the world's greatest race course.
The Chevy Silverado Trail Boss is designed to stand out. Because when you have a 2-inch lift, Goodyear Duratrac tires, and an integrated dual exhaust, the last thing you'll need is a road. The Chevy Silverado Trail Boss, ready to off-road, right from the factory. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Starting something new can be nerve-wracking. Wouldn't you like to know beforehand whether it's going to work out or not? Credit Karma can give you more confidence before you make a decision. Credit Karma's game-changing technology shows you tailored offers for credit cards and personal loans that you're more likely to be approved for, so you can apply with more confidence. Whether you want cash back, travel rewards, or to consolidate debt, Credit Karma can help you find the offers that fit your goals. Go to creditkarma.com/radio to learn more and find offers tailored just for you. Apply with confidence today. Go to creditkarma.com/radio.
This is NTT IndyCar driver Elio Castro-Neves. Stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
The Indiana union construction industry remains focused on getting the job done and keeping our communities running. We all look forward to getting back on track. For over 100 years, our contractors and skilled tradesmen and women built and maintained Indiana's hospitals, highways, bridges, schools, and utilities, essential infrastructure that keeps our state moving forward during all conditions. And with safety as a top priority, we're ready for whatever it takes to rebuild our economy. We built Indiana's past, and we'll be there to build Indiana's future. The Indiana Union Construction Industry. Value on display every day.
This is John Whitaker, Business Manager of Ironworkers Local 22. Our over 1,300 members earn good pay and benefits working with rebar, structural steel, and ornamental metals for bridges, commercial buildings, and more. Find apprenticeship details and how we're building Indiana's infrastructure at ironworkers22.net. Ironworkers Local 22. Skilled on principle, union by choice.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC.
This report from the pits brought to you by Speedway, official fuel and convenience store of the Indianapolis 500. Ryan Marine.
Elio Castro-Neves is running 7th at the moment. He's made a couple of attempts to get by Alex Palou, but quite frankly, he and his team are very happy with where they're running at the moment. The focus has been on the fuel number, and the team has been telling Elio, you're doing exactly what we need you to do. It will pay off at the end of this run.
Rob Blackman.
You know, if you're Ed Jones and you started this race P11 and you're currently running P13, you wouldn't necessarily think that's a good thing. However, his pit box and his racing team, that Dale Coyne Racing with Vassar Sullivan team, is very pleased with Ed Jones. They were just on the radio talking to him a moment ago, telling him, Ed, you're doing everything perfectly. Don't change a thing. Keep doing exactly what you're doing, and at the end of this race, we think we're going to have a chance.
Scott Sander.
Joseph Newgarden has clawed his way to the top 10 with good timing and good driving, but he doesn't feel like the car is great. He has asked for more front wing both of the first 2 pit stops and plans to do so again. Drew said he'd like to add rear, but that's a lot bigger deal.
Alex Wolf.
Will Power, last pit stop was 7.5 seconds, no changes, just told the crew that the car feels good. Sage Karam, another big winner, runner from the back row, says that the car had some understeer early in the run. Now it's getting better. Thought that Will Power was holding the pack up, and that's apparently evident as Karam with Dreyer Reinbold Racing has gotten around Power.
Getting ready to complete lap 99. This update from Paul Page brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Progressive's Home Quote Explorer gives you multiple quote options so you can pick what's right for you. See for yourself at Progressive.com. Paul, a fascinating race unfolding here on the 105th Indianapolis 500.
It really has been, and some of the things I said earlier kind of like totally out the window with the yellow, but that's exactly what we expected to happen. Chevrolet didn't do that well in qualifying, but Chevrolet now runs 1, 2, 3 in the race. Daly, VK, Award. And the fact that they're performing up there, I think, is pretty impressive overall. Now, you still got the Dixon and Rossi combo trying to get back on a lead lap and trying to get back through this field. Will Power, who we talked about earlier, is just slowly working his way up. He is now in 15th position. And the other cars of, especially Helio Castroneves, I mean, is that such a great story? Yeah, he's back a little bit right now, but this guy is looking for a 4th Indy 500 win, and that is awesome. Mark?
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer gives you multiple quote options so you can pick what's right for you. Again, see for yourself at Progressive.com. And, Davey, here we are, lap 100, the halfway point, Joseph Newgarden on pit road.
And the third pit window is open, and Newgarden's going to take advantage of it. We heard him say that understeer in that car, adjusted it twice, needs some more, meaning the front end just slides too much. Can't keep the momentum up, but he's going to come in and try to get his car better for this last half of the race.
We suspected in that first stint Will Power was +8, then he dialed it back a little bit, even got passed by a couple of cars, and we figured that Power would let this come to him in segments, and that appears to be what he's doing.
Yeah, he found himself in 12th. I looked up, I was so surprised that he was in that 12th position. He's losing ground the longer he goes, so that car must not have great balance.
Yeah, it's fascinating to watch it all unfold as, again, we have reached the halfway point. We're at lap 101. Your leader, Conor Daly, Renus VK is second, Award is third, Hunter Ray is fourth, Colton Herta is fifth, Alex Below is sixth, Helio Castroneves is seventh, Ray Hall, Sato, and McLaughlin complete the top 10. And tell you what, these young guns, they've been impressive so far today.
Wow, what a great job they're doing with VK, Award, race winners this year, and Fred second, third place.
Donald Davidson.
Yeah, in fact, I think they were, at one time they were like second, third, fourth, and fifth, or something like that, was all the kids were running. All right, now we're past the halfway mark. Conor Daly has now led 40 laps, more laps than any other driver in this race. And then also the average speed is creeping up. It's now up to 186.4. Now the record for the distance is 187. Long way to go before we get there by Tony Kanaan. But now this is faster than what was the long-time record held by Ari Luyendyk for the distance. Again, we're just halfway. 186.4 miles an hour, average speed for 102 laps.
And we have cars coming to pit road, and they are the front runners coming to pit road. Let's start first with Scott Sander.
Conor Daly coming in, heading north. Expect more wing to come out of this car. He wants less. All 4 tires off. 4 more on. This one's taking a bid. He will have right, left rear, a little slow. He's away.
Ryan Marine.
Renus VK incredibly quiet on the radio for this portion of the race. He does not like to change it. Very clean stop, and he's going to vault ahead of Conor Daly here in the pits.
And, Davey, we can look all up and down pit road, and we see teams starting to scurry and grab tires and that fuel hose.
Yeah, unfortunately for Conor, left rear problem. The guy is a little slow on the left rear. He lost him about 30 car lengths, or 40 car lengths, I should say. VK is going to come out. I'm sure they came in at the same time to work with each other in that tow and in that draft. Right now, they're spread apart quite a ways.
And we see Jack Harvey coming to the attention of his Sirius XM Auto Nation crew. We also see Pietro Fittipaldi on pit road. Rob Blackman is there.
And Pietro Fittipaldi has just pulled into pit road as the crew goes to work. As Pietro, he stays on that cycle he's been on all race long, being one of the very first into the pits. This time, 4 fresh tires, a windshield tear-off, and half a turn on that front wing for the rookie, Pietro Fittipaldi.
Pit Road updates being brought to you by Speedway, the official fuel and convenience store of the Indianapolis 500. And Davey, it's interesting to note, I've been keeping an eye on Joseph Newgarden, and let's not forget, Joseph came in to kind of start that stint, and this could end up paying huge dividends.
Yeah, it could be. We'll just see where it all cycles out, but I think he felt he was losing too much speed on the track with that understeer. Needed some nose wing in that car. Instead of continued to lose time, as soon as that window opened, he shot out there. Now, is he going to have any drafting help at this point? It looks like he does, being right behind him is VK.
Brian Marine.
Tony Kanaan trying to recover from that pit road penalty, that last sequence of stops. He's not been able to make a lot of headway, and this pit stop won't help either. A hold-up on the right front with TK back in the fight.
Yeah, a little bit of a hold-up, a little bit of a bobble, and this is where the pressure is on those guys and gals who go over the wall.
Yeah, and you can't let it get to you. You got it every time they come in. Those crew guys have to do it exactly right. Right now, as we see, one bad stop, and I'm going to say Conor Daly, that left her was slow. Well, guess what? Right behind him right now is our leader, Pato Ward, trying to put a lap down. Now, obviously, Pato's going to pit, but that could be huge dividends if where he comes out in the cycle.
And we saw Simona Di Silvestro come to the attention of her crew at the North End, Davey. They've been running around 20th, 21st. They're learning a lot today.
Learning a lot, doing a good job, being very consistent, knowing that they started in that very last position. She couldn't go backwards, but she's going to go forward, no question about it. Like I say, in that 27th spot, just continuing to work with that new team.
And that team did a great job to get that car in the field.
They really did. I mean, they do have Penske affiliation. We got to remember, so does Will Power, who was in that back row with her, struggled in qualifying, but they kept their composure. They had a lot of new people, a lot of females on that team that haven't been here before. They got it done, got in this race.
So we think the activity will continue to increase on pit road as we're waiting to see O'Ward and Hunter Ray and Herta and Palou and Castro Neves and Rahal and on and on. Matter of fact, Davey, really the only ones that we've seen so far that it'd be interesting to see when they cycle back through is Newgarden, VK, Daly, Harvey, and Fittipaldi.
Well, right now, interesting, we've seen right now, VK, we know he was leading the race. Who just pitted in front of Newgarden, who's ahead of him right now. So when it cycles through, Newgarden could find himself in front of this race right now. Yeah. Great strategy by that Penske team.
Yeah, and we've seen them do that time and time again with all of their drivers.
Unbelievable. And what happens is he gets that free air, he comes out, and matter of fact, I'm going to look at the fastest speeds. He's not it. Will Power has the fastest lap of the race at a 2:24, but he had some good laps coming out. We got Colton Herta coming in, no sense getting held up anymore for him. He's coming on pit lane.
Yeah, we've seen Colton Herta pretty consistently in the top 5 all afternoon, and you got to wonder if maybe he is just biding his time until we get to that final stint, and then he is going to get on his giddy up, if you will. Colton Herta to Rob Blackman.
As he pulls into pit lane, and here they go for Firestone Firehawks, a windshield tear-off. One quick half-quarter turn on the front wing. Down and away, 8.3 seconds goes Colton Herta, who's been running in the top 5 most of the day.
And it was announced earlier this month that Cambridge and Colton Herta are going to be together for a while.
Yeah, got a long-term relationship there with Andretti Autosport. Great to have Colton in a solid situation at his age, and guys that obviously could win races and are working together. Already won a race this year, by the way.
And let's go more updates on pit road, starting with Alex.
Sage Karaman a couple of inches forward ahead of his marks, but the Dreyer Reinbold team half a turn front wing, little wobble, 10.87 second stop.
Been a good day for Ryan Hunter-Reay, Davey. He's to the attention of his crew.
Doing a great job. Ryan just keeps on top of him right now. I'm surprised the leaders haven't came in, but we'll go down to Rob and see who's down there now.
Well, yeah, Ryan Hunter-Reay, you said great job, man. You were on it, David Hamilton. That was a sub-6 second pit stop. It included a half turn in the front wing as he's looking for a little more grip. As Ryan Hunter-Reay could not have executed that pit stop any better than Ryan Hunter-Reay and that DHL Honda team just a second ago.
Yeah, we talked to him about the disastrous start to his season, and he wasn't even thinking about that, Davey, and obviously he's had a great day.
I think he's going to cycle out really well after everybody pits here. Comes out in front of his teammate Colton Herta. Is Colton going to get him in turn 3? Goes on the outside, up in the marbles. Oh, Colton tries to go around the outside, does not pull it off. Ryan Hunter-Reay is able to pull back in front of him. So close call with those teammates.
Let's go to pit road. Rob Blackman.
James Hinchcliffe has just come to pit road. A tear off fresh windshield for him. Firestone Firehawks. And how about a turn and a half? A turn and a half of that front wing as Hinch is looking for a little extra grip on the track as this track is starting to heat up.
Alex.
Simon Pageau comes in, Large Chevrolet. He wants a front wing adjustment. I think a chance to chase the balance. They finish up the pit work. Right front tire changer tells him to go. Just under 8 seconds stop.
And we've reached the point, Davey, where the timing of your pit stop is either going to be very happy or very disappointed.
Yeah, and Pato Ward, how about the mileage Pato's getting? Last time pitted lap 33, 79, and he's gone a long way. It's lap 108 right now.
So, coming down the straightaway, we're keeping a look at the front of this field, and maybe as these stops continue, we start seeing Joseph Newgarden start to cycle a little further, further.
Right now, that's right. So, guys, the teams that have already pitted find themselves creeping towards the stop, and leader of that pack, you're right, is Newgarden looking good right now.
Ryan Marine.
Alex Below pitting from P2. He's headed my way now. Number 10, NTT Data Honda. Alex Below quiet on the radio. Not a whole lot to say about his race car so far up on the jacks. The fuel probe is in. That was a very quick stop. A shade under 7 seconds for Alex Below.
An update from Scott Sander.
Pato Ward is about to come in. His crew set up. Both of his teammates have already pitted. He's got a clean north end. He can come straight in, straight out.
And he is headed your way right now. We see Potable Ward with that Arrow sponsorship on the side of that race car to Scott Sander.
Let's see how they do. Potable Ward slides in on his marks. All four off. Airway's gone. Fuel out. And away in 7.7.
And we see Elio Castro-Neves coming down pit road to Ryan Marine.
He slides to a stop right on the marks. Picture perfect as you'd expect from the veteran. The Myers Racing crew incredibly fast. 7 second stop for the 06.
114 laps complete. Pit stops continue in the 105th Indianapolis 500.
The 105th running of the Indianapolis 500 is brought to you by Miller Lite. Taste you can depend on. Miller Lite is proud to be the official beer partner of the Indy 500. It's Miller time.
Hey, we get it. You don't want to be hearing a Progressive commercial right now, so let us tell you something you do want to hear. You are intelligent. You make all the right decisions. You were smart before smart was cool, and you made it cool again. You have a wealth of knowledge, and you are so very clever. I bet you already knew I was going to say that, you genius. There, don't you feel better? You'll also feel better when you hear you could save big when you switch to Progressive. But I'm pretty sure you already knew that, too. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Now stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
911, what's your emergency?
In an emergency, voice is best. But what if you can't call?
Escalated domestic disturbance reported east of downtown. Be advised, alert was received by a 911 emergency text. Caller is hiding in a closet and can't use her voice.
When the situation is too dangerous to make a call, text to 911 capability now helps Hoosiers. But in most emergencies, voice is still best.
My sister's not breathing. Please hurry.
In the last 5 years, Hoosiers have used text capability in over 1 million 911 sessions. It's of great help to the deaf and speech impaired and to those in select dangerous situations. Thanks to the statewide 911 board, Indiana leads the nation with all 92 counties having in- and outbound text capability. For more, visit in911.net.
It's good to hear your voice. Help is on the way.
911. Before you text, voice is best.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC.
Welcome back to the 105th Indianapolis 500-mile race to Rob Blackman.
Takuma Sato in just a moment ago. He came to pit road P2. Half a turn of the front wing for Sato, plus 4 fresh new Firestone Firehawks. Splash of fuel and a windshield tear off as well. Now we're awaiting Graham Rahal to come to his pit box area. And here he is. Rahal stopping. 4 fresh Firestone Firehawks for him. Tear off of the windshield. And unlike last time, Rahal does take a quarter turn on that front wing. Graham Rahal down and away.
And that completes the cycle of pit stops as Graham Rahal makes his way off of pit road. Let's get an update, an observation, Potter Award from Scott Sander.
Yeah, they love the fuel mileage mileage that he has made. They just told him, race fast, check out if you can. Don't save anything for this stint. And he loves the way the car feels.
So now that we've cycled through on lap 118, let's go to turn 2.
Graham Rahal into the wall, guys. It looked like he lost a tire as he exited pit lane. Right when he got to the midway point, he hits the wall on the outside of turn number 2. We had another driver come through, hit that tire that was loose on the track. My goodness, Graham Rahal hanging on for dear life. We are under caution here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Caution on the course, lap 118 here at the 105th Indianapolis 500.
Alexa, play IndyCar Radio.
This is Jake Query, Turn 3 announcer of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Network, with this Driven to Save Lives Fastback brought to you by Indiana Donor Network, official partner of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Did you know that in the time it takes an Indy car to complete a 2.5-mile lap around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, you can do something legendary to save lives? By signing up to be an organ and tissue donor, you can save up to 8 lives and help heal 75 more. Sign up to be an organ donor at driventosavelives.org. That's driven, the number 2, savelives.org.
This is the 2008 Indy 500 winner, Scott Dixon. Stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
Siri, read me that text.
Sorry, I can't complete your request.
You want me to read that?
No, I got it.
Construction zone.
I see it.
Watch it. Oh my God. You're gonna hit him!
Oh, fuck!
When driving in a construction zone, be smart, be alert, be in the zone.
This is Ward Daniels, business manager of Labor's Local 120. Everyone deserves a safe place to work. Do your part in the cone zone. Slow down, open your eyes, pay attention.
A message from Indiana's District Council of Laborers International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC.
This is Graham Rahal. On this Memorial Day weekend, the NTT IndyCar Series salutes the men and women serving in the United States Space Force. Thank you for your service.
Welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Caution on the course, a single car incident involving Graham Rahal. For the most part, a single car incident, to recap from our driver analyst, Davey Hamilton.
Yeah, here's what happened is Graham Rahal's left rear tire changer just didn't get the tire tight when they sent him. We seen him mess around with that left rear, couldn't get it on tight. Poor Graham comes, he wasn't even on the racetrack yet, Mark. He's in turn 2 warm-up lane. Thankfully, nobody was on the racetrack coming by him. The left rear tire comes off. He spins around straight into the just traffic right behind him. One car incident other than when that tire came off, bouncing on the racetrack. Conor Daly, unfortunately, gets it right in the nose of his car. We'll see it right here, actually. Hits it right on the nose. Just knocks that tire in there. Hopefully nobody got injured wherever that tire went. But, man, Graham Rahal was going to come out, I think, in 5th place, if my calculation right. He was running. Sato was in 7th. He was a ways ahead of Sato when that happened. He was in contention to win this race and had that unfortunate incident.
Yeah, that wheel was punted to the inside of the racetrack. And again, thankfully, no spectators in the infield. And let's get an update from pit road, Scott Sander.
Remarkably, he doesn't feel much difference, Conor Daly, from before he hit the tire and after. Initially, they set up to replace his front wing. Now they're just setting up 4 fresh tires and no replacement. So there'll be a pit stop, though not the extended one that you might expect.
Last year, IndyCar made a pledge to support diversity and inclusivity throughout the paddock at each of our events. To get an update on some of those initiatives, let's check in with Katie Kyle, who's with a member of IndyCar's community who's on track with diversity.
Beth Peretta is the team principal of Peretta Autosport, and owning her own race team is the realization of a long-time dream. We talk a lot about how you're putting the women on your team forward, but you have a lot of male allies as well. Why is it important for you to see that you are having these relationships between men and women that are both important?
My idea of this team and how it would start and how we kind of get our legs under us always included being teamed up with an existing team. We would always have this mentor-mentee relationship at first, because if I'm grabbing these women, because the reality is there aren't enough women right now in IndyCar. If I were to even steal them from other teams, which you don't want to do, but even if I did, there aren't enough women to make a whole team. So the way that I was going to always build this team was to hire them from other series. So because you're grabbing them from other series, there's still going to be a learning curve. They need to learn this car, they need to learn this rule book, they need to learn the other teams on the grid and the cadence of IndyCar. Everybody kind of was going to be looking at all this with fresh eyes. So the best way to be successful is to team up with people that are veterans who know IndyCar inside and out. We could be here without the technical alliance of Team Penske, but we couldn't be doing this well or having being on this pace of acceleration. This partnership with Team Penske has been invaluable, and having these seasoned men teaching these women it's worth its weight in gold.
I'm Katie Kyle. That's On Track with Diversity for the NTT IndyCar Series.
Thanks, Katie. You can hear more of that interview on our website. Go to IndyCar.com/radio and click on podcast. We are under caution. Lap 121, an update from pit road with Ryan Marine.
Well, this yellow certainly does change things from a strategic perspective, and I'd like to get Davey's thoughts on this. I just heard Elio Castroneves' crew say that they think now with this yellow they can make it on 2 more stops, and they've been doing a lot of fuel save to kind of get in this window where they could take advantage of an opportunity like this. You think that sounds about right, Davey? 2 more stops from here?
Yeah, absolutely. 2 more stops, they'll definitely make it. This extended yellow is going to help everybody get in that fuel window, and ideally I think they should be able to go full bore from this point. Now, they may need to save a little in this stint, go just a little long if they could, to make sure that last stint they can go full rich and get all the speed they can.
Let's go back to Ryan Marine.
Yeah, one other thing to keep an eye on. Remember that first sequence of pit stops, we had the yellow in the middle of that, and a couple of cars ran out of fuel and lost a lap trying to get going again when they couldn't get the engines refired. Scott Dixon was one, Alexander Rossi was the other. It appears that Scott Dixon's crew was able to use this yellow proactively and get back on the lead lap. Alexander Rossi's crew, less fortunate. They were in the pits when the yellow came out. They had to come back down again. Dixon just made his stop here under this yellow. So I think the number 9 car, the pole sitter, should be back on the lead lap at this point.
This yellow flag recap is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You can save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit Progressive.com. Rob Blackman.
Well, just to show you how tightly intertwined these racing teams are, Graham Rahal, his pit crew, his pit team members, most of them over the last 30 seconds or so have walked right past me with dejected looks on their faces, as you might imagine, and their heads hanging low. Of course, we would expect that. But it's just one pit stall down. That's the pit stall of Takuma Sato, also a member of the Rahal Letterman Lanigan racing team, just as is Graham Rahal. The Takuma Sato pit crew members all going out of their way to come over, offer a high five, a slap on the back, even a few hugs for this very dejected pit crew team of Graham Rahal. Takuma Sato's team knows that their teammates are feeling just about as low as one can possibly feel on this particular Sunday here in Indianapolis, and they're offering their thoughts, their condolences, because, hey, this is Indianapolis.
Scott Sander.
Similar scene down here. As you well know, the livery for Conor Daly is the U.S. Air Force. Very historic scheme. Looking back on the accomplishments of the Tuskegee Airmen, they've hosted a number of members of the Air Force, and while this pit was fairly light in terms of visitors until now, it seems like they've closed ranks. There are 9 people in fatigues down here, very eager to make sure their guy's okay, and I'm sure hoping he's still got a good chance.
Yeah, that's a tough situation, Davey, and again, another indication of just how much of a team sport this is. I've done a couple of media pit stop competitions, and I was pretty pleased with my ability to get one tightened in about 15 seconds, but that'd get me fired.
Yeah, right, absolutely. And, it's so, you got to be so perfect, and he just fumbled that slight little bit on left rear. He feels terrible. Very dangerous, obviously, what happened with Graham. If there were cars coming, like I said, Graham was in position. He just ran a lap of 2:23 before those pit. He was clicking them off, making up so much track time and speed before that pit stop. Just unfortunate.
Yeah, and we're going to get the 1 to go at the line, and we will complete 124 laps next time by. Palou, Castroneves, O'Ward, VK, and Newgarden, your top 5. Hunter, Ray, Sato, Herta, Daly, and Harvey, the top 10. Montoya, 11th. Pagenaud is 12th. Power, 13th. Carpenter, 14th. Sage Karam, 15th. Andretti is 16th, Santino Ferrucci is 17th, then Hinchcliffe, Erickson, Canan, Simona Di Silvestro, 22nd, J.R. Hildebrand, 23rd, Bourdais, 24th is Jones, 25th, Fittipaldi, 26th is Dixon. Most importantly, Dixon is back on the lead lap. Rosenquist 27th, Kellett 28th, McLaughlin 29th, Chilton is 30th. The lap down is Rossi in 31st, out of the race in 32nd. Ray Hall out of the race in 33rd. Steph Wilson. This leaderboard update brought to you by On Location. Let's go to Alex Wolf.
Graham Ray Hall with us here at the IU University Health Center. Graham, are you okay, and what happened out there?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I just, the left rear tire came off. Quite a hit. Went all the way around, hit basically head on. Disappointed. I'm sad for my guys. We freaking had them today. I'll keep saying that till next year. We had them. I don't know what else to say. I'm so disappointed. But, sometimes it doesn't work out here, and today it didn't work out.
Sorry to see you out. Best of luck in Detroit.
Thanks.
That's Graham Ray Hall.
You can experience the biggest moments in sports, entertainment, and music with On Location, the official fan travel partner of the Indy 500. Visit OnLocationEXP.com to learn more and secure your experience today. That is OnLocationEXP.com. Pace car is off. They're coming off of turn number 4, and the green flag flies. Alex Below has all kind of company. Elio Castro Neves and Pato Award into turn number 1.
Elio's looking to the outside, trying to take that race lead, and he'll do just that. They're going 3 or 4 wide further behind, but it's Elio Castro Neves, your new race leader. Elio about 4 car lengths over Pillow, then Pato Award, Renus VK, Joseph Newgarden stacked further back, 2 wide, Jack Harvey, and Will Power on the outside. Elio Castro Neves leads him to 3.
And all of a sudden now, Alex Palou has down to the bottom of the racetrack Pato Award, who takes second, but it's Elio Castroneves, the 3-time winner, that leads him out of turn number 3.
The purple and black Sirius XM machine, crowd on its feet, cheering Elio Castroneves. He's the leader out of 4.
Montoya was part of a bunch back in 11th position, thought about going 4 wide into turn number 3, but back up front, Elio leads into turn number 1.
Yeah, I don't know how they didn't crash further back mid-pack in this race, but it is Elio Castroneves, 4 car lengths over Patricio Award. That's where it sits. It's Elio, then Pato, then the machine of Alex Palou, Renus VK, Joseph Newgarden wiggles ever so slightly at the exit of turn number 2. Now Pato looks to take the lead.
Pato Award goes to the bottom of the racetrack and slung himself past Elio Castroneves. Then it's Alex Palou, followed by Renus VK and Joseph Newgarden.
The Aero Chevrolet on the north end of the track now has the lead. The orange and black machine, a couple of car lengths over Castroneves.
Elio gets a nice run off of turn number 4. They're starting to check out a bit from Palou. He has a firm grasp on third with Renus VK giving chase.
Into turn 1, it is Pato Award, Elio Castroneves, then Alex Palou, Renus VK runs it forward, and Joseph Newgarden holds down the 5th spot. Pato Award about a 3-car length advantage over Elio Castroneves. They exit turn number 2, then Pato works the center of the racetrack. It is Pato Award, 3 car lengths over Elio.
Pato Award starts to drift a little bit high entering turn number 3. Castroneves goes right there where he is. You wait just about 2 car lengths back before Alex Palou.
A 3-car length advantage on the short chute on the north end of the track. He's right in the middle of the track, stayed way off the white line, a 3-car length advantage.
Strong run by Elio Castroneves off of turn number 4, but he's not going to catch him into turn number 1.
Boy, that orange and black Aero McLaren car is fast for Pato Award. He'll hold Elio Castroneves off 3 car lengths into the short chute. He was bad fast in Texas, got his first win in race number 2. He leads here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The Mexican Pato Award over Elio Castroneves.
From the time he got here, Pato Award has been excitable, personable, and somebody that the fans like to follow, a lot like the guy following right now, talking about Elio Castroneves in second.
And he likes this north end of the track. He tries to set up Award to look to the inside. Just a couple of car length lead now for Pato Award.
Top 5 come to the start-finish line. Lap 129 this time by Award, Elio, Palou, VK, Newgarden into turn 5.
Elio's got company as Alex Palou slips around and grabs the 2nd spot. Meanwhile, Joseph Newgarden getting everything he can handle from Ryan Hunter-Reay at 6th. Award now 3 car lengths on Alex Palou. Palou really making a nice charge after getting around Elio Castroneves. Palou will tuck up underneath the rear wing of Award.
Alex Palou is now going to think about going to the inside of Pato Award, but decides against it. Now he's got to worry about Elio Castroneves. Castroneves trying to get back that 2nd spot.
Palou in the NTT Data Honda. He is about 3 car lengths behind Pato Award. The orange and black Aero machine has the lead.
Top 5, not much change in their disparity. Ryan Hunter-Reay trying to draw a beat on Joseph Newgarden, the battle for 5th.
He's looking to the inside, but has to jump right back in line. Those 2 Americans running 4th and 5th, followed by another American in Colton Herman in 6th. Back to the front, Pato O'Ward about a 3-car length advantage over Alex Palou. Then it's Elio Castro Neves. Regis VK will run in that 4th position. We have a look to the lead. It's O'Ward to the outside and Palou to the inside.
And Alex Palou takes the lead moving into turn number 3 with Pato O'Ward just behind him. Elio Castro Neves the 3rd.
And that lead is now a good 7 to 8 car lengths for Palou. He exits turn number 4 with the lead.
Alex Palou, Pato O'Ward, Elio Castro Neves, Regis VK, Joseph Newgarden. Elio Castro Neves looks up on the rear wing of Pato O'Ward into turn 2.
Not able to make a move, but it's Alex Palou. Michael, he had a big hit in qualifying a week ago, but that blue and white car looks fast.
That's where he lost it, right at the point he is right now at the exit of turn number 2. But Jake, since he got around Pato O'Ward, he is checked out. Now Elio Castro Neves looks for second.
Castro Neves now goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Put Elio Castro Neves the second, works his way around Pato O'Ward. Alex Palou, the leader, next in sight.
It was a slingshot move by Castro Neves to the inside. Now he's down along the white line, but still a good 10 car lengths behind Palou.
Last time off of turn number 2, Conor Daly was able to slip around Jack Harvey. He got back into the top 10. Breathing room for Alex Palou into turn 1.
Alex Palou by 2 car lengths over Elio Castro Neves. Another 3 back to Pato O'Ward. And then a big gap back to 4th place running Regis VK.
Alex Palou about 4 car lengths ahead of Elio Castro Neves. Castro Neves got a great run out of turn 2 last time by. Got another good one this time out of turn 2.
Alex Palou owns a coffee store in his native Barcelona. Suddenly now he finds a jolt of energy. It puts him in front of the Indianapolis 500. Elio Castro Neves in second. They're pulling away just a bit from O'Ward.
But he is only a couple of car lengths back as Castro Neves in second as they exit turn number 4.
Elio with a strong run off of turn number 4. He's about a car length and a half back at the start-finish line. Might take a peek to the inside into 1.
Jake mentioned energy. There is nobody more energetic than the 40-year-old Elio Castro Neves. 2 car lengths behind Palou into turn 2.
He's got another nice run. Midway point at turn number 2 does Elio Castro Neves. Palou with about a 5 car length advantage heading down the middle of the back straightaway. Both cars work their way to turn 3.
Alex Palou sets up for turn number 3. Does so with Castro Neves going exactly where he goes. Elio Castro Neves still waits. Alex Palou the leader into 4.
A little bigger lead this time by for Palou as he exits turn number 4. It's about 3 car lengths, but Castro Neves is coming fast.
134 laps complete this time by. It's Palou, Castro Neves, O'Ward, VK, and Newgarden in the top 5. Hunter Ray, Herta, Pagano, Sato, and Daly the top 10 of the 105th Indianapolis 500.
Get ready for the ride of a lifetime. And take a trip in a real Indy car at your favorite track.
That was incredible.
This is Davey Hamilton. Come ride with me at the next NTT IndyCar event and see what it's like to be a real IndyCar driver. It's the fastest seat in sports, and you should be in it.
That was amazing.
Sessions are selling out fast. Go to IndyRacingExperience.com to make your racing dreams come true.
That was awesome.
Gainbridge knows that in both racing and investing, winning demands consistency. Lap after lap, year after year. Our innovative digital platform offers intuitive annuity products to help you protect and grow your savings. Visit Gainbridge.life to see how you can earn guaranteed returns year after year. Gainbridge, proud sponsor of the Indianapolis 500.
Stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs and overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
May is National Barbecue Month and National Hamburger Month. What better way to get the grill fired up and celebrate both than with the Smokehouse Burger at Twin Peaks? Come get you some. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Oh, while we're in lawn and garden, I was thinking I should pick up one of those little things for watering my plants.
A hose?
No, the things that look like teapots, but for plants. You know, you tip it over and it goes blah, 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 blah.
You're good at describing words you've forgotten.
Like those things that give the plants a shower, you know, that you fill up.
A watering can?
Yes, a watering can. I knew that.
We're good at your insurance. Find an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC.
Lap 137, Alex Below leads the 105th Indianapolis 500-mile race. The pit window starting to open during the last cycle. Joseph Newgarden among the first takers. How about now, Scott Sander?
About a 7.5 second stop. He added still more front wing. Every stop so far, he's wanted a little bit more. They say he doesn't love the car, but he's made up time for track position and a little bit of good driving.
Davey, when you see a bobble like what happened with the Rahal Letterman Lanigan team on Graham Rahal's car with that left rear, is that just a not so subtle reminder to the rest of those teams? Hey, next time, let's make sure everybody's good here.
Well, everybody can make mistakes, and unfortunately, 2 mistakes were made on that Rahal thing. Number one, the left rear tire changer made a mistake, but the guy sending him out knowing that tire wasn't ready, also a mistake there as well, and took him completely out of this race. I kind of believe Graham. I've been watching him come through this field. I see the kind of lap times he could run. I thought he was going to be a contender for this race, and right now, Newgarden finds himself out in front of the field. Obviously not going to go a lap down, I don't think, before these other guys make stops. We'll just see where he cycles back out when it's all done.
And again, that's I think the biggest roll of the dice is not only where you stop, but boy, you got to hope that everybody else stops to where it falls your way.
Yeah, where it falls your way. And if right now Newgarden could cut some laps, or make some good lap times, I should say, try to make up right now. The leaders are running in that 220 mark, which they have stepped it up. They were running the 217s. Time to go right now. Last lap that Newgarden ran, I think, is a 2:18, so a little bit slower than those leaders, so he needs to pick it up a bit.
Have we reached the point where there's not much more you can do to the race car other than maybe a tire pressure adjustment here and there, a pound or two, and a wing adjustment? That's about it. What you have is what you have.
Not until that last stop. You can change it until that very last stop. There's always a little bit of adjustment you can do. You still have those tools inside the car, but they've probably already used those up. Newgarden's case is a little surprising. They put nose wing in every single stop, where we've seen some of the guys take those wing out, so it's interesting.
I hope he got it wound up in time. A lot of brakes moved off the car of Conor Daly, Scott Sander, when he came on the pit road.
Yeah, they still like the balance on this. They have got a much better stop than last time. He is away cleanly, but they worked on the front again.
And Davey, I tell you think you got plenty of time to mow it down and get yourself on and off of a pit road. But boy, you can get to that commit line pretty quickly. And if you cross that timing line and you're too fast,
then that's it. That'll cost your day. We see the nose piece on Conor Daly. He hit Graham Rahal's loose tire right in the center of the car, right in the nose, which is the strongest point of the race car, actually, in the front. That's kind of an attenuator. Didn't really do any damage. There's some rubber on it. It is broken so slightly, but I don't think it's going to make a big difference in handling in that car.
Fascinating thing, Jake Query, is where they come back out onto pit road. We see the field tracking down Conor Daly now into turn number 3.
Yep, they worked their way into 3 right now, and again, it's Alex Palou with Elio Castroneves just behind him. They have themselves about 20 car lengths to make up, as you're talking about with Daly.
Yeah, Daly is going to pass you right now, Mark, and well behind now is Palou.
Yeah, he blended in among the front runners, Davey, when he came back onto the course.
And that's not good, because you usually don't go a lap down when you pit here, and he just did. So he's going to cycle back probably that 7th, 8th, 9th position.
Jack Harvey has been running in the top 15 all day long. We see just below us, he's coming to the attention. That Sirius XM Auto Nation machine. Looked like a good stop for Jack Harvey, but it looks like he killed it. They got to back up on the jack, and they'll get him started and get him back underway. So that's going to be a costly stop for Jack Harvey. As we think the pit stops will continue here. The 105th running of the Indianapolis 500.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. Ask Kelley Blue Book. They named Honda their 2020 Best Value brand. So contact your Honda dealer or shop online today.
Based on 2020 brand image wars from Kelley Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
Today, I'm taking it to the streets to give people the good news. Oh, excuse me, hello. I'm Flo from Progressive, and did you know...
No, I'm just waiting for the bus.
So then you have time to hear about how with Home Quote Explorer, you can check if you're paying too much for home insurance.
Yeah, if I was interested in talking to you, which I'm not.
Okay, I'll do the talking, and you just check if you can be saving, which is going to be pretty hard to do if you put on your headphones. Okay.
See if you're paying too much for home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
This is the 2014 Indy 500 winner, Ryan Hunter-Reay. Stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
The Indiana union construction industry remains focused on getting the job done and keeping our communities running. We all look forward to getting back on track. For over 100 years, our contractors and skilled tradesmen and women built and maintained Indiana's hospitals, highways, bridges, schools, and utilities. Essential infrastructure that keeps our state moving forward during all conditions. And with safety as a top priority, we're ready for whatever it takes to rebuild our economy. We built Indiana's past, and we'll be there to build Indiana's future. The Indiana Union Construction Industry. Value on display every day.
Hi, I'm Jason Smith of the Heat and Frost Insulators Local 18. Installing, repairing, or retrofitting insulation on your mechanical system saves money. And no one does it better than us. If you need a contractor, we're on the web at insulators18.org. Skilled on principle, union by choice.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC.
Think are great stations on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway radio network all across the USA. WGCL in Bloomington, Indiana, KSKK in Staples, Minnesota, and KBOW in Butte, Montana. Let's go to Rob Blackman.
Ryan Hunter-Ray has just come to pit road, and 4 fresh Firestone Firehawks for him. Speedway fuel and a tear-off windshield. No changes, however, to the front wing for Ryan Hunter-Ray.
Ryan Marine.
A few laps ago, we saw Renus VK come to the pit lane. It was the first time all day they've adjusted on the car. Just one turn of front wing and a rapid stop. 7.1 seconds for Renus VK.
Updates from pit road brought to you by Speedway, official fuel and convenience store of the Indianapolis 500-mile race. To Alex Wolf.
Sage Karam comes in. No changes except for a fresh tear off. 4 tires up, 4 tires out. A little bit longer. For the fuel, about 8 3/4 seconds.
Colton Herta led 3 times early for 13 laps. We saw him come on and off pit road. Routine service for him. And Davey, we're seeing routine service for Ed Carpenter.
Yeah, we are, but we're on track. More importantly, the leader's getting held up. He smartly comes at Blow, was being held up by Newgarden. Instead of waiting, losing track time, he is on pit road as well.
Yeah, the pit window has opened for Alex Below. That blue and white NTT data machine of Alex Below heads to the south end of pit road, and before long, they'll pop into the view of Ryan Marine.
Oh, the crawl at 60 miles per hour seems so slow when Alex Below has arrived at his pit stop. Goes to the hump, hits the marks perfectly. Been a solid run for the second-year driver here in the Indianapolis 500. Below is down and away.
Well, not only has he arrived on pit road, Davey, he's arrived, period. That kid is good.
Wow, is he good? And very smart by him and that team. Instead of being held up by traffic, get in, because he's losing a couple mile-an-hour lap. That was a very wise move. Now, Pato Award, he has to deal with Newgarden, see if he can get by him, because Newgarden is a couple miles an hour off the pace.
Yeah, we're continuing to see drivers that kind of cycle back through. And Jake Query, look at the advantage that Alex Below has on the rest of the field in turn number 3.
I'll let you hear it, as a matter of fact. That's Below going past. There's VK, Hunter-Ray, and Colton Herta. Below sets sail to Eucharist.
He exits turn number 4. Alex Palou, car number 10, easily down the front straightaway.
Marco Andretti just came off and on pit road, and Marco's been flirting with the top 15 most of the day, Davey.
Yeah, very quiet, finds himself that 19th spot, but you're right, he's been in that 15th area. But with pit stop cycling around and change. Elio Castroneves, our leader, coming in right now.
Ryan Marine.
They've been coaching him to save fuel, but they're about to let Elio off the leash. He comes to a stop here. The Meyershank Racing crew goes to work. The number 06 car for the 3-time winner, Elio Castroneves. He's been patient to get his spots. He's down and away 7.4 seconds.
Rob Blackman.
James Hinchcliffe has just come to pit road. He gets 2 Firestones as well as a tear off of the windshield. Also, Speedway fuel, but no changes to the front wing for James Hinchcliffe. Down and away in less than 8 seconds.
We've seen Dalton Kellett come on and off pit road, and now we see the number 5 of Pato Award come to pit road. Let's go back to pit road, check him, Scott Sander.
And his marks, he's up. Tearaway's off. There's a little bit of a wing change. Looks like he had it. He's gone.
Good good, fast car, good ride today for Pato O'Ward.
Great ride. Got his first win on that oval in Texas. And man, remember McLaren missing the race here?
Right.
But now they're coming back to win it again. So you never know what could happen in this event. Sometimes you miss it completely, but now he has opportunity to win it.
Yeah, just a handful of drivers now. Last pitted around lap 113 or so. We see Sato, Power, Ericsson, and Santino Ferrucci among those who have yet to pit. Let's go to Alex Wolf for an update.
And we have a spin. Will Power, they were waiting for him to come in. Looks like we might have had another brake lock up as now 4 members have to come down the quick jam. They're pulling the Verizon 5G Chevrolet down the pit lane. So for the second time in the north end, as one of the crew members waving, they're trying to turn it around. All kinds of trouble for Will Power. He had worked his way up from the middle, the last row, and was running up in the second or third position, but more trouble for Team Penske.
I suppose the one advantage to that is the fact that given where he started, they didn't have far to wheel that car.
Yeah, the only advantage to that is his pit spot was the first one coming on the pit lane. But another mistake by he just had a tough day, but he did fight his way back up towards the front of this field. I think he was running in that 10th, 12th position. Right now we got Pato O'Ward and Palou, and with Castro Neves in the first 3 spots right now.
And what this boils down to is that this might eventually cycle back through to be the battle for the lead once those in front of them come on an off-pit road. Right now it's the battle for the 12th position. It's Alex Palou and Pato O'Ward with Elio Castro Neves in tow into turn number 1.
Closing in on the final 100 miles of this race, and it is Alex Palou by about 4 car lengths over Pato O'Ward. But Michael, there's Elio waiting in the wings, 3rd car in line.
Yeah, it seems the longer that these guys sit out on track, the worse they come out after their pit stop. Palou, then Pato O'Ward. Boy, Elio Castro Neves is right there as well, Jake Query.
This, again, is the de facto battle 1, 2, 3. Palou has now Castro Neves just behind him because Castro Neves was able to get around Pato O'Ward.
Yeah, these have been the leaders most of the day. It is Palou, Castro Neves, O'Ward, and then Hunter Ray. Those are the cars in order.
Elio looks strong into turn number 3. Will he look strong into turn number 1, Nick?
He is right on the rear wing of that blue and white NTT data car of Alex Palou. Not close enough to make a move. He files back in line, 2 car lengths behind the Spaniard.
Bar a caution. This is now the battle for 11th. It will resume to be the battle of the lead. 11th place now, Palou. We've got Elio Castro Neves, Pato O'Ward halfway down the back straight.
Palou comes into view with Castro Neves right there, and then Pato O'Ward. Ryan Hunter Ray is now starting to draw a bead with Regis VK on that front 3, trying to lead them in their tracks.
Again, it's Castro Neves, just a couple of car lengths behind Alex Palou as they exit turn number 4.
And again, there's Sato, Ericsson, Rosenquist, Fittipaldi, Dixon, Bourdais, Jones. All of those cars and more, Nick Yeoman, still have to come to pit road.
Yep, and their pace is slowing up, but it's the leaders, the fast cars, the guys that have been all the way up front, making their way through the short chute.
Once we cycle through this final set of pit stop, Palou, Castro Neves, O'Ward, and Jake Query, Ryan Hunter Ray right there in the battle as well.
You can say from the get-go that this track suits Alex Palou. That certainly was the case for Elio Castro Neves when he first arrived. Alex Palou, a 2-car length advantage over Elio.
And Castro Neves through the short chute on the north end, dives down to the white line. He's still a couple of car lengths behind Alex Palou.
We are still waiting on the top 9 to come to pit road. They last did so around lap 117, Nick Yeoman.
And they'll make their way into turn number 1. Again, it's these drivers just outside the top 10. Alex Palou leads that train into turn 2.
3 car lengths over Palou, then Pato O'Ward, Ryan Hunter Ray, Regis VK, Colton Herta, Simon Pagino. That's how they make their way down the back straightaway.
Pagino actually has been fairly racy. As a matter of fact, he's trying to draw in on Colton Herta, but all eyes are up front with Alex Palou and Elio Castro Neves.
Yeah, it looks right now like these guys are pretty content to stay where they are. Castro Neves continues to be a couple of car lengths behind Alex Palou.
Rob Blackman.
Takuma Sato in and out in 7.4 seconds. A half turn on the front wing for Sato. He started P15. Before he came to pit road, he was running P1. The 2-time champion, Takuma Sato, right where he is used to being in Indianapolis, near the top of the field.
And we saw Marcus Ericsson also come on and off of pit road. We see Felix Rosenquist just in front of us coming to the attention of his crew. We then would wait for Fittipaldi, Dixon, although we see Fittipaldi coming now, Dixon, Bourdais, Jones, and McLaughlin. Those guys have to pit. When we return to the 105th Indianapolis 500-mile race, we pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the IMS Radio Network.
It's race day.
500 is won by Takuma Sato.
On WIBC, WIBC HD2, and WFNI Indianapolis.
In IndyCar racing, it takes a great pit crew to keep the car running at max performance and Firestone tires to get to victory lane. Same holds true for the truck, SUV, or car you drive. You need a great technician to turn to when things ain't running right. And at Fire Auto Care, you'll find over 4,000 ASC certified technicians ready to help with anything from brakes to oil changes to batteries and more. For maintenance, repairs, and tires, get to Firestone Complete Auto Care today.
The 105th running of the Indianapolis 500 is brought to you by Miller Lite. Taste you can depend on. Miller Lite is proud to be the official beer partner of the Indy 500. It's Miller time.
Stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
911, what's your emergency?
In an emergency, voice is best.
Damn it, I told you what was going to happen.
But what if you can't call?
Escalated domestic disturbance reported east of downtown. Be advised, alert was received by a 911 emergency text. Caller is hiding in a closet and can't use her voice.
When the situation is too dangerous to make a call, text to 911 capability now helps Hoosiers. But in most emergencies, voice is still best.
My sister's not breathing. Please hurry.
In the last 5 years, Hoosiers have used text capability in over 1 million 911 sessions. It's of great help to the deaf and speech impaired and to those in select dangerous situations. Thanks to the statewide 911 board, Indiana leads the nation with all 92 counties having in- and outbound text capability. For more, visit in911.net.
It's good to hear your voice. Help is on the way.
911. Before you text, voice is best.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC.
Lap 161 complete at the Indianapolis 500 at Nation Pit Road with Ryan Marine.
An update on Helio Castroneves currently running behind Alex Palou in what is the de facto race for the lead, and he has been told by his team, if you get a run, you can take that lead if you would like. He came back on the radio and said, I think the two of us are about the same speed, and if we work together, we might be able to pull the gap on Pato Award. That's exactly what they've done.
Rob Blackman.
Don't look now, but the rookie Scott McLaughlin is awfully racy today. He started P17 a moment ago when he came to pit road. He was running in fourth position. 6.7 seconds on the stop from McLaughlin with fresh Firestone Firehawks and fuel. No changes to the front wing of that vehicle for Scott McLaughlin in that Pennzoil Team Penske Chevy. McLaughlin, the rookie, looking like a veteran here today.
It's Scott Dixon, last one to come to pit road in this cycle, Davey, and he's going to tumble to 23rd.
Yeah, so we were thinking, can he make it on one more? It'd be highly, highly unlikely. He needs to make it over 42 or 43 laps. I don't think that's gonna happen, but a good try for that team doing all they can to try to cut a pit stop out, but not going to make it.
162 laps complete. This leaderboard update is brought to you by On Location. Experience the biggest moments in sports, entertainment, and music with On Location, the official fan travel partner of the Indy 500. Alex Palou is your leader. Helio Castroneves is second. Pato Award is third. Ryan Hunter-Reay is fourth. Renus VK is fifth. Colton Herta is sixth. Simon Pagenaud is seventh. Sato is eighth. Newgarden is ninth. Ed Carpenter is 10th. Conor Daly 11th. Sage Karam is 12th. Juan Montoya is 13th. 14th Gadan. 15th Erickson. 16th Ferrucci. 17th Rosenquist. 18th Andretti. 19th Hinchcliffe. 20th Jack Harvey. 21st Hildebrand. 22nd Di Silvestro. 23rd Fittipaldi. 24th Dixon. Kellett 25th. 26th McLaughlin. 27th Chilton. 28th Ed Jones. 29th a lap down Sebastian Bourdais. 30th a lap down is Will Power. 31st a lap down Alexander Rossi. 32nd Graham Rahal out of the race. Steph Wilson 33rd out of the race. 10 leaders, 26 lead changes, 2 cautions for 18 laps. Daly has led 40 laps, VK 32, Palou 27, Award 17, Castroneves 13, Pagenaud, Karen plus 19 on the day, Newgarden plus 13, Montoya plus 11, Simona Di Silvestro plus 11. Visit OnLocationEXP.com to learn more and secure your experience today. Again, that's OnLocationEXP.com, bringing you this leaderboard update on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Network.
The Chevy Silverado Trail Boss is designed to stand out
Because when you have a 2-inch lift, Goodyear Duratrack tires, and an integrated dual exhaust, the last thing you'll need is a road. The Chevy Silverado Trail Boss, ready to off-road, right from the factory. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Racing Optics is the official aero screen and helmet protective solution partner of IndyCar and NTT IndyCar Series. Racing Optics is a Wilson family-owned business with deep motorsport roots. Dempsey Wilson competed as a rookie in the 1958 Indy 500 with A.J. Foyt. Racing Optics is proud to continue the family legacy of participating in and working with IndyCar for 60-plus years. Visit racingoptics.com to learn more about the windshield protection and helmet tear-offs featured on every IndyCar.
This is the 2013 Indy 500 winner, Tony Kanaan. Stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
Dear driver, thank you. Thank you for slowing down when you saw the orange cones and road construction signs. My husband is one of those road workers. And today, you saved his life. If you hadn't slowed down, you would have missed that lane change, driven right into the work zone, and you would have killed him. Because you were driving differently. He'll be at our son's Little League game this weekend. He'll be there to walk our daughter down the aisle. He'll be out there tomorrow, making Indiana's roads safer. Thank you.
When driving in a construction zone, be smart, be alert, be in the zone.
This is Ward Daniels, business manager of Labor's Local 120. Everyone deserves a safe place to work. Do your part in the cone zone. Slow down, open your eyes, pay attention.
A message from Indiana's District Council of Laborers International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC.
This is Dalton Kelly. On this Memorial Day weekend, the NTT IndyCar Series salutes the men and women serving in the United States Army National Guard. Thank you for your service.
Just about to complete 169 laps below Castroneves, O'Ward, Hunter Ray, and BK, the top five. All eyes starting to focus on the driver running in the 23rd position, Ryan Marine. That's Scott Dixon.
Exactly so. When he came to make his pit stop a few moments ago, there were 38 laps remaining, and Mike Cole and the rest of the Brains Trust hope that was the final stop they make today. Now that's a monumental task to save enough fuel to make it the distance from here, and the team communication to Scott a moment ago was it could work, but we need some help. Remember, they fell off the lead lap early. They've been scrambling to get back on the right foot ever since. This is their last play to try and get to victory lane.
Alex Wolf.
And we have another spin at the north end of the pits as Simona Di Silvestro coming in spins. I think might have hit the inside wall, dejectedly hitting the steering wheel. Quickjack has come back on the Pret Auto Sports Chevrolet. So our third mishap on the north end of the pits today.
I have never seen anything like it. That is the third spin coming onto pit road, and the pit window has opened for the front runners. Let's go to Scott Sander.
And trying to get fresh Firestones on the tire without any incident. Earlier in the race, a left rear slowdown really slowed things down. Shorter load of fuel, and he's off.
On and off for Conor Daly as Scott Sander gave us that update, and we see just in front of him Colton Herta in contention early, Davey. He's been kind of mired around 5th or 6th the last quarter of the race.
He really has. You know, I've been keeping an eye on him, obviously, but his teammate, Ryan Hunter-Reay, seems to have more speed than he does right now. Just doesn't have that what he had early.
Rob Blackman.
Well, Colton Herta just made what we believe will be his final pit stop of the day just a seconds ago in front of me. Fresh windshield tear off. Speedway Fuel 4, new Firestone Firehawks, no changes to the front wing. Sub 7 seconds for Colton Herta. Again, with what we believe will be his final pit stop of the day. Is it going to be good enough?
Lengthy issues for the car of Simona Di Silvestro, Davey. It continues to sit on pit road.
Yeah, she must have had contact. I didn't see a replay other than her spinning coming on pit lane, but man, you have to be so careful. You have to get heat in these brakes before they work, and it's so difficult when you don't have that many chances coming in off turn 4 to try to make that happen.
Couple of pit boxes just in front of her. Dalton Kellett, we see him coming onto pit road. We also see the 06 of Elio Castroneves. What a day it's been for Elio. He comes to Ryan Marine.
Pits from second on the road. This should be the final stop for Elio. The Meyer-Shank Racing crew. This is their secondary crew. First time this team has run a second car in the NTT IndyCar Series. No changes for Elio Castroneves. He is now
done a great job all year long, Dave. All race long, Davey.
Yeah, they sure have. Another great stop by that team. Right now, we'll see if he cycles out. For example, in front of Scott Dixon, the guy that's made his final stop, has to save fuel. Got a lot of smoke coming to pit lane. Ryan Hunter-Reay comes blasting. He definitely sped in pit lane, guys. Definitely sped in pit lane. He's going to get a penalty for that.
Rob Blackman.
And here he comes, Ryan Hunter-Reay. We are awaiting his arrival here to his pit stall. The team is over the wall and they are ready. Firestone Firehawks, sticker Firehawks ready for the arrival of the number 28 DHL Honda, Ryan Hunter-Reay. Here they go. Firehawks on. Windshield tear off away. Fuel down and away goes Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Scott Sander.
Chest bumps and high fives all around for the Arrow McLaren team from Pato O'Ward. They got him out and down quick. Didn't need quite as much fuel this time.
Ryan Marine.
It was a short fuel just to get to the end, plus 4 Firestone tires for Alex below. 6.4 seconds. Greatest VK has also made his final stop.
And a promising day for Ryan Hunter-Reay is going to be ruined, Davey. He's going to get a drive through race control.
Pretty sure. I mean, it looked like I didn't see the timeline, but I seen smoke on his tires, and he passed too many guys. I'm pretty sure he's going to get a speeding penalty for pit speed.
Yep, so Ryan Hunter-Reay, again, had been running in the top 10 all day long.
Just a heartbreaker.
Yep, for sure. So we've got Simon Pagenaud now is in the lead, but Pagenaud, Karam, Montoya, all of those guys, including Tony Kanaan, those among the guys that need to come to pit.
Yeah, they need to come out about Sage Karam, guys, from that 31st position to P2 right now, but as you said, he's got to come in and pit one more time. It's really looking good for Elio Castroneves, and Pelot finds himself in 10th position ahead of Castroneves, but it should cycle out to where he's in front. By the way, guys, they're ahead of Dixon already as well.
And those guys are in a pretty heated battle, talking about Pelot and Castroneves into turn number 3 in front of Jake Query.
Castroneves just shut the door, entering turn number 3. Looked like Pelot was going to make the move. Is he going to try again in 4, Chris?
And when they all cycle out, it should be Elio Castroneves with the lead as he exits turn number 4.
And we'll see if he's able to hold on to it. Elio Castroneves comes off of turn number 4, and he has about a 4-car length advantage into turn number 1.
The bigger concern for Alex Pelot is Pato O'Ward, the Mexican driver, Michael. He's charged right into the rear wing of that 10 car.
Yeah, as soon as Elio got around Pelot, he checked out about 6 car lengths. It is Pato O'Ward that is closing in on that rear wing of Alex Pelot. Halfway down the back straightaway, here comes Pato O'Ward.
Pato O'Ward is going to try to get to the inside of Alex Pelot, but Pelot is trying to draw a beat on Elio Castroneves. Throw a blanket over him right now.
And now Pelot's gained some distance on Castroneves as they go down on the white line. Just about a 3-car length advantage for Elio Castroneves.
Juan Montoya's had a pretty efficient day. Davey Hamilton, we see him come to pit road. He gets on and off with service. Tell you what, we better go to turn 1. Pelot makes a move on Castroneves.
He did. He took a look to the outside, though, Michael. Not able to make the pass of Elio Castroneves.
Castroneves now checks out about 4 car lengths or so, but this potentially could be the battle at the end of this race. That is Jake Query, unless we don't get a caution.
Again, the situation is this. Castroneves with Alex Pelot and Pato O'Ward. We would think they'd be 1, 2, 3 so long as everybody else in front of them has to pit, but Scott Dixon's the one in that regard we keep our eye on.
Castroneves exits turn number 4, center of the track, with about a 3 to 4 car length advantage on Pelot.
So the question is, Dixon can't go full bore right now, so he's got to be running back in the 12th position.
Yeah, he's going to be back a ways. He's going to, he can find himself that top 6, 7 at the end of this race, I think, because the guys need to pit, like Ferrucci, Karam, Kanaan, those guys. But good strategy, but not enough to win this race.
A quick pit stop call on the car of Sage Karam, Alex Wolf.
Sage Karam in, 4 tires up, 4 tires out, no changes. Waiting on the field, 8.16 seconds.
Tony Kanaan on and off pit road as well. Routine service for TK. He's had a pretty good day all in all, Tony Kanaan, in the 105th Indianapolis 500. The difference between a Hinchman fire suit and others, the difference is safety. All Hinchman fire suits are made with materials that are permanently fire resistant. That's why Nomex remains the standard. The difference is experience and innovation. Hinchman started the racing suit industry over 80 years ago. The difference is quality, value, and customer service. Your suit is an investment in your safety, and Hinchman is committed to giving you the safest and best racing suit, along with friendly personal service. Hinchman, why settle for anything less?
At PPG, we work hard every day to develop and deliver the paints and coatings that customers have trusted for over 135 years. We know that paint can do more than just change the color of your walls, because we've built our reputation by solving our customers' biggest challenges. From cars and airplanes to skyscrapers and houses, we protect and beautify the world. Visit ppg.com to find out more. PPG is proud to be the official aero screen of IndyCar.
Now, stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing.
The Indiana union construction industry remains focused on getting the job done and keeping our communities running. We all look forward to getting back on track. For over 100 years, our contractors and skilled tradesmen and women built and maintained Indiana's hospitals, highways, bridges, schools, and utilities, essential infrastructure that keeps our state moving forward during all conditions. And with safety as a top priority, we're ready for whatever it takes to rebuild our economy. We built Indiana's past, and we'll be there to build Indiana's future. The Indiana Union Construction Industry. Value on display every day.
This is Bob Steinecker, business representative for plumbers, steam fitters, and HVACR service technicians, Local 440. Are you looking for companies who have shown exceptional commitment to sustainable mechanical service in the HVACR industry, as well as the residential and light commercial industry? Log on to mcai.org for more info. UA Local 440, plumbers, steam fitters, and HVACR service technicians, skilled on principle, union by choice.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan and 93 WIBC.
Commercial free to the end. We're at lap 181. Rosenquist, Hildebrand, Sato run 1, 2, and 3, but Davey, they have to stop.
Yeah, they're going to have to stop. It's going to leave Pillow, Castroneves, Pato Ward, and how about this? Penske car. McLaughlin going to find himself in that 4th position. Simon Pagenaud 5th, and Ed Carpenter climbed his way up right behind Pagenaud.
So it's going to be a mix of youth and experience to decide the 105th running of the Indianapolis 500-mile race. And again, Rosenquist, Hildebrand, Sato out front. But we're watching the battle for what will be the lead, and Elio Castroneves would want it into turn number 1.
Fans on their feet, pumping those fists. Elio Castroneves makes the pass on Alex Pillow into turn 1.
Need to do the wave into turn number 2. Waving for Elio Castroneves, who just got around Alex Pillow. Now Pato O'Ward starting to make a move. Scott McLaughlin right there as well.
Nobody started this race for Roger Penske more than Elio Castroneves. Now his first year driving for another team, and with 18 to go, he leads the Indianapolis 500.
A couple of car lengths over Pillow, and then O'Ward is another 10 car lengths back as they exit 4.
130,000 plus strong. They're cheering loudly. Alex Pillow to the inside of Elio Castroneves.
No more saving fuel. We've got a shootout. Alex Pillow around Elio Castroneves. The Spaniard back to P1.
Years to go, and Pillow checks out 6 car lengths over Elio Castroneves. Then Pato O'Ward, then another 10 car lengths back to Scott McLaughlin.
Buckle in, settle down. The Indianapolis 500 is coming down to the wire with Alex Pillow just in front of Elio Castroneves, Pato O'Ward, Scott McLaughlin, and Simon Pagenaud.
Now on the north side of the track, the short chute, it's Pillow, a good 4 to 5 car lengths, though here comes Castroneves out of 4. He's only 3 car lengths behind.
Again, all eyes on Rosenquist, Hildebrand, Sato. They have to stop again. Pillow, the leader, into turn number 1.
That's right. It is 4, 5, and 6. Pillow, Castroneves, and O'Ward. But Michael, it's just laps away from being for the race lead.
And just about a half a lap ago, we saw Pato O'Ward start to close in on Elio Castroneves. That advantage kind of slips away as Alex Pillow takes him all the way down to the white line. Elio, Pato O'Ward right there.
De facto leaders we're talking about, and now you can throw a blanket over him. It's Alex Pillow with Castroneves just behind. Then Pato O'Ward, and now trying to get up into that fight, Scott McLaughlin.
And then don't count out Simon Pagenaud. He's in 5th in this, the way it's playing out right now.
14 laps to go, this time by side of the start finish line.
Elio got him easily. He passed him at the yard of bricks as the fans cheer on the 3-time Indy 500 winner.
Through the south end comes Elio Castroneves. Fans waving their hats. Elio Castroneves by 3 car lengths, but Alex Pillow gets a great run out of turn number 2.
It's 5/8 of a mile away, but when Elio Castroneves makes noise at the south end, the north end comes to life. Now they watch as Alex Pillow takes the lead back into turn number 3. Alex Pillow leads Elio Castroneves.
Through the short chute on the north end of the track, about a 4 car length advantage for Alex Pillow. Then it's Castroneves, then it's Pato O'Ward.
Rosenquist, Sato, Hildebrand continue to roll the dice. All last pit into the lap 150s, although some of them are coming to pit road now.
It'll stay Pillow, Castroneves, and Pato O'Ward. Going to change for the 4th spot. Simon Pagenaud Pagano with Menard's car, Michael. He's in the mix.
Our 2019 champion has now moved around his teammate Scott McLaughlin. Alex Palou takes him down way below the white line on the back straightaway. Elio Castroneves and Pato Award.
At some point, we're going to reach that point where somebody says, okay, we're no longer doing any sort of fuel issue, letting you get by. Alex Palou leading Elio Castroneves and Pato Award.
Again, they are 4th, 5th, and 6th right now, but we assume these will be the leaders down the stretch. Palou with the advantage.
Keep an eye on Simon Pagano, 4th place running car. He's not that hard to find, Nick Yeoman.
And where did he come from after starting deep in the field? He's 4th in line, and Michael, he's trying to track down those 3 ahead of him.
He was about 10 car lengths behind Pato Award last time by. Simon Pagano down 6 car lengths behind Pato Award. Alex Palou works the outside of the back straightaway. Right behind him, Elio Castroneves.
Castroneves trying to make that move on Palou, but Palou swung just a little bit high, so it's Palou again with Castroneves, and then Pato Award and Pagano.
And it's Pagano in 4th. He easily got past his teammate McLaughlin. He's trying to dial in Pato Award for 3rd.
Scott McLaughlin doing all he can to keep with that lead pack. They're strung out a bit as they head toward turn number 1.
Pato Award right there in that 3rd position. He sees Elio Castroneves trying to run down Alex Palou. The Spaniard still leading this train to the short chute.
Everybody trying to see what they have for these last 12 laps. Palou, Elio Castroneves, Pato Award has dropped back about 8 car lengths, but man, Palou takes him again down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Rosenquist and Sato still yet to pit. They run 1-2, so it's Palou in 3rd, then Castroneves 4th, and then Pato Award, but again, de facto for the lead.
You know, every time Rosenquist passes by, I wait for him to go on the pits. He does not. So we come back, and Palou with a 3 car length advantage on Castroneves.
Any chance at all those guys can go to the finish, Davey? They last pitted on lap 158 and lap 157, Rosenquist and Sato.
I just don't see how they have enough fuel to do it. I'm at this point, can they go that 42, 41 laps? I'm not sure. I don't think they can.
We will see. It unfolds before our very eyes. The attention goes back to 3rd place running Alex Palou into turn number 3.
And Alex Palou has plenty of attention from Elio Castroneves. Castroneves again trying to draw a beat on that NTT data machine, Chris. 2 car lengths behind him.
Yeah, north end of the track, Castroneves, then Award, then Pagano, then McLaughlin. Those are the guys trying to catch up to Palou.
Elio Castroneves with a strong run up at turn number 4 starts to draw me to the start-finish line.
But Alex Palou is already playing that game, trying to break that air. He's got a 3 car length advantage over Castroneves.
Alex Palou, then Elio Castroneves, Pato Award, Simon Pagano, Scott McLaughlin, and Jay Query. We got another player in the game. Here comes Ed Carpenter in 6th.
It is a 25-mile race at this point. Alex Palou holding off Elio Castroneves. Then you wait before Pato Award, Simon Pagano, Scott McLaughlin, and then Ed Carpenter.
But with 10 laps to go, the Aero McLaren car of Rosenquist, he stayed out on the track. Exiting turn 4, Palou. He has a 3 car length advantage on Castroneves.
Again, Rosenquist, Sato last pitted on lap 158 and lap 157 as Alex Palou goes into turn 1.
And Palou's advantage over Castroneves, 4 car lengths, another 5 over Pato Award.
There comes Alex Palou, midway point of turn number 2, Elio Castroneves, but Pato Award has really fallen off this time by about 5 car lengths behind.
Boy, Palou was so aggressive to get to the bottom of the racetrack, exiting turn number 2, but Castroneves went right there with them. Pato Award is right there to keep them both in sight. Pagano, they've now pulled away a bit from Carpenter.
Their teams have to be talking to them that they are playing what they think is for the lead. Palou, 3 car lengths over Castroneves.
8 laps to go. Let's get an update from pit road. Scott Sander.
Felix Rosenquist is setting up. If he pulls in and there's no yellow, then he's not going to win this race.
How about Rob Blackman?
Same can be said for Takuma Sato. They're not going to change tires. They're just going to give them a splash of fuel, but they're setting up to get ready for Takuma to enter pit road with now 8 to go.
So they rolled the dice, Davey.
Hey, you have to do it. I applaud those guys. I mean, they were all running laps of 210 miles an hour, 212 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour off the pace, trying to save fuel, but with a 15-second lead, they could have pulled it off, but here comes Rosenquist now.
Yeah, Felix Rosenquist comes on to pit road to the attention of Scott Sander.
academic for him at this point. Still wants a good finish, but this should shuffle the leaders out just exactly how you guys predicted. He is not yet down. In fact, he's slow to start and it may have been stalled. It'll be a little bit of work here for him, but everybody that passes puts him back farther in the field.
Yep, Felix Rosenquist stalled the car. They're waiting to get it restarted, and we are waiting for Takuma Sato. Davey?
Elio Castroneves makes another move, getting by Plo. He leads the Indy 500 with 7 to go, Mark.
7 laps to go now. We'll wait for Takuma Sato. He is indeed coming to pit road, but now let's focus our attention on Elio Castroneves. Castroneves, Pillow, and Pato O'Ward as they work their way off of turn number 4. Alex Pillow in pursuit of Elio Castroneves into turn number 1.
And just 6 laps to go in the Indianapolis 500. Castroneves, Pillow, O'Ward. Then it's Pagano and Carpenter. We get a 5-car fist fight for the 500.
4-car length advantage for Elio Castroneves. Alex Pillow hits that white line, wiggles ever so slightly. Elio Castroneves doesn't take him down as low. Pillow gets a nice run out of 2.
Pillow now starts to pop to the outside. Alex Pillow has the door shut by Elio Castroneves. Castroneves holds him off out of turn number 3.
They are going to run into traffic here in the short chute as they exit turn number 4. That is Rosenquist. He's in the way. Castroneves with the lead.
Elio's been in this position before. A dogfight to the end. Alex Pillow works into the high side of the start-finish line.
They're going to go side by side into turn 1. Alex Pillow, too strong. That blue and white car shoots to the race lead to the short chute.
Elio Castroneves has finished this race 3 times in the second position, 3 times in the lead. This time by, he'll be in second. Alex Pillow checks out 8 car lengths over Castroneves.
A year ago, these two both wondered if they'd make it to the 105th running of the Indianapolis 500 mile with a ride. Now it's Alex Pillow with the ride of his life. 4 car lengths in front of Castroneves.
Yeah, that continues to grow. It's about 8 car lengths. Again, he has Rosenquist in his way on the front straightaway.
Sato on and off pit road, fuel only for him. His chance to win is gone. Alex Pillow holding on to his chance to win into turn number 1.
And it's like he's found another gear. Michael, he's opened up a 10-car length advantage over Elio.
But he does have a car in front of him. That's the machine of Felix Rosenquist, and he will catch him about the midway point of the back straightaway. Pillow 8 car lengths over Elio.
30 years ago, we saw a 4-time winner here. Could history repeat itself? Not if Alex Pillow's able to hold off Elio Castroneves. 5 car length advantage, but Pillow's coming up on the slower Rosenquist.
Alex Pillow in his second race. Elio Castroneves his 21st. Rosenquist goes to the pits. A clear track now for Alex Pillow.
4 mile an hour faster. Alex Pillow last time by. 3 laps to go in the 105th Indianapolis 500.
But Elio Castroneves, the savvy vet, he's not done. Michael, he's already carved it down to 4 car lengths.
Alex Pillow enters turn 2, about a 4 car length advantage over Elio Castroneves. Pato O'Ward about 5 car lengths to the rears. Here comes Pato O'Ward to the middle. Now down low, back to the middle of the back straightaway.
Bob and weave. Pillow trying to hold off Castroneves. The fans in turn number 3 are pumping their fists for Alex Pillow and Elio Castroneves.
Elio Castroneves a couple of car lengths behind Pillow. They exit turn number 4. A 2 car length advantage for Pillow.
Elio Castroneves with a strong run off at turn number 4. They are snaking their way down the straightaway. Elio to the high side in turn number 1.
Voigt, Unser, Mears, and maybe Castroneves. Elio takes the lead out of turn 1.
We have 2 laps to go in the 105th running of the Indianapolis 500. Elio Castroneves a 6 car length advantage over Alex Pillow. They make their way down the back straightaway. 4 car length advantage.
Get on your feet, turn number 3. Everybody jumping for Elio Castroneves. The king of the dancing takes his way through turn number 3. Throws up some dust. Pillow 2 car lengths behind him.
They're all on their feet, but there's a lot of traffic in front. Elio Castroneves, the lead out of 4.
And the white flag will fly on the 105th running of the Indianapolis 500-mile race into turn number 1.
If Alex Pillow is going to get Elio Castroneves, it's not in turn 1. Elio leads into the short chute.
5 cars ahead of our leader, a new team and a new life for Elio Castroneves. Ryan Hunter-Reay is in front of Elio Castroneves. 2 car length advantage down the back straightaway for the final time.
All kinds of traffic now as they work their way into turn number 4. But it's Elio Castroneves behind Ryan Hunter-Reay, trying to hold up Alex Pillow. Castroneves looking for number 4, Chris.
A 2 car length advantage. Elio Castroneves trying to become a 4-time winner out of turn 4.
Off turn 4 for the final time. Elio Castroneves comes to the start-finish line. Twin checkers out, and then there were 4. Elio Castroneves joins the 4-time Winners Club. He wins the 105th running of the Indianapolis 500-mile race.
Oh my God. Unbelievable.
Oh my goodness.
Unbelievable. That's awesome.
My goodness.
Wow, what a absolutely Elio Castroneves to come back, not knowing if he's ever going to drive a car.
No.
Comes back, goes with this team first time and wins. Oh, unbelievable.
Hey, it's a part-time deal too, Davey.
And a new speed record, too.
Yeah.
Part-time deal. It may be more of a full-time deal now. We'll see. And a new speed record for this race, Donald Davis has just informed me.
Well, I'll tell you, this is going to be a popular win that will reverberate literally around the world. And Davey, 135,000 of our closest fans were here to see it.
Oh, unbelievable. I'm so happy that people were here to see this. I'm so happy for Elio. What a great run for him. And so can't be happier.
Okay, well, guys did a magnificent job as they always do. And guys, we were a part of history today. Let's get our thoughts and impressions from the turn, starting with Nick Yeoman.
Mark, yesterday at the drivers' meeting, there was a photo with A.J. Foyt, Rick Mears, and Al Unser by the Borg-Warner Trophy. And my friend, they're going to have to retake that photo. There are now 4 members of the 4-time Winners Club. Mark, what a day, what a historic moment here at the corner of 16th and Georgetown.
Well done, my friend. Michael Young.
You saw him this entire month of May, Mark James. He was studying. He was trying to learn this new team. He's such a great race car driver. This new life as he climbs out of the cockpit of that 06 Meyershank Racing team. You can't imagine the joy. And you can hear the fans below me. It was one of the most spirited runs I've ever seen here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as Elio Castroneves climbs the fence.
And we're going to keep it right here, Davey. There he goes, up the fence to the start-finish line.
You know he's going to do it. He had a hard time getting out of the car this time, but man, he's so excited. All of his team's out there to join him. This story is unbelievable. Him being able to come back and do this, we thought we were done. Elio always knew he wasn't done, and I'd love to see him back full-time in this series, I'll tell you.